Hello, and welcome to Tales from the Backlog. My name is Steve Boshier, and I'm just running all the dials and buttons tonight. And also, I'm playing a character. Tonight's game is Dwindle, which is a fun little game that this one found on itch.io a while back, and it's been on the list
Mhm.
for a while. So, Sarah, tell the peoples about the Dwindles.
Hello, I'm Sarah. I'll be the game master for this evening. Tonight we are playing Dwindle. This is a fun, quick RP heavy game. It's just a quick 16-page PDF. It is by Caro Assertion. And you can find this game online at itch.io at cexcursion.itch.io. And you can find Caro Surgeon on Twitter/X at yes at C Excursion is their handle online, and I believe they also have a Patreon as well. So very much looking forward to this. So this is a very fun take on cyberpunk. It is set in a dying, haunted city of Vector, which is on the very, very tail end after a technological boom and bust.
Hmm.
Our characters are living in the remains of this haunted city amongst broken programs and the spirits and ghosts haunting the machines left behind. Uh, this game also has a very interesting mechanic, which is one reason we are very excited to play it tonight. It has. Do we have a visual of the
Hold on,
grid?
I'll put one up.
Thanks.
I didn't have it ready, but I just realized I should
Oh,
have.
all good. I'll start talking. So this game, yours is a dice pool game where you are actually going to play all of our characters have a 4x4 grid, and they have 7 dice to place on this grid as they see fit. The grid, different lines, it's like a Sudoku. Different lines in the grid add up to their different stats, and the stats are evade, charge, hack, heed, charm, elide, and the seventh stat, which takes up the remaining 2 rows, is occult. And as you roll your dice, um, aiming, not rolling against, just rolling for, successes and misses, you will remove your dice from your grid. So you are actually dwindling until your result is a 1, at which point you can replenish all of your dice back onto your grid, but not before taking the consequences of rolling a 1. So that is very quickly an overview of the game.
Sorry,
Thank
I
you.
was being very slow. I couldn't get it ready in time.
No
This is
worries.
what the grid looks like.
Yes.
And the rows are not labeled here, but that's basically one whole row is a stat. And then
Yes.
its occult is like the whole, both right-hand
2 rows.
rows. Yeah, it's like an
Yeah.
arrow pointing to the right.
Mhm. So that is to give everybody in the audience a quick overview of what we will be doing. And let me go ahead and have everybody go around and just quickly introduce yourself and the character that you'll be playing tonight.
I will be
Starting with Steve.
I will be
I'm not
playing
first.
Batwire. It's not some kind of superhero name. It's actually short for Bartholomew. Um, Batwire is a
Is it though?
revolutionary whose mission in life is to probably seen as somewhere between radical and insane by most people. Batwire believes it is possible to destroy the mega corporations entirely. I'm looking to find or create some sort of digital demon that will shut down all their systems, erase their bank accounts, destroy their hardware, remove their ability to communicate internally, and basically erase them as corporate entities. And if I can do that, then the people will be free.
Hey, I'm Jason. I'm playing Sergey Decay. I'm a former musician who managed to literally sell his musicianship out to Zans Corp. Wait, was it Zans Corp or did I say Vans Corp?
You said Xantz. Yep.
Okay.
Xantz
Yep.
Corp.
It's supposed to be Zans Corp. And yeah, I can't do music now because when I do music, I get charged for it. So yeah, that really sucks.
What a horrifying, distant future that is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, so far future. Hello, my name is Meredith. I'm playing as Ginny Voyant. I am someone who specializes in talking to the ghosts in the machine a bit, sort of became obsessed with learning about the past and the glory of what used to be. And through learning about that, started digging into the mystery of what caused the fall. And at this point, I'm obsessed with trying to find details of digging into what happened. How did we get here? But overarching that, the corporations are definitely responsible in some way. And so Ginny is very much just trying to keep the city operating.
Very nice. And Cody?
Cody,
Oh, Cody, you're muted.
muted?
Ah, that would explain why Judy just talked over me earlier. Well, it's my fault.
Got
Anyways,
muted. You gotta go.
my name is Garp. I'm playing a yellow journalist here to expose all of the lies and ways that these corporations have been controlling us and what things they've been using to keep their power solidified for so long.
All right.
Oh.
Very good. All right. So let's go ahead and kick ourselves off here in the city of Vector. It is what you thought when you started today would probably be a pretty typical weekday night, except today has taken a turn for the unexpected, because today is a day that a successful corporate acquisition has occurred, and not just any acquisition. Fine Corp is one of the last remaining founding mega corporations of the city. There are still many other mega corporations, but none of the original ones. Fine Corp is the last, or as of today, though, was the last, because this afternoon, Initech took over, and it is a bloodbath in the street. Packs of middle managers roaming the streets looking for redundant employees to eliminate. Hordes of IT technicians and facilities people stripping the physical assets out of FineCo's buildings. And the other megacorps are getting in on the action. It is a free-for-all right now in the streets for anybody still associated with the megacorps. Dance Corp, M&A are all out there on the streets, as are other non-megacorp parties interested in taking advantage of this chaos. So, but you all aren't part of any mega corporation. It is 7 o'clock, about 5 hours after Initech has started their takeover. And let's go ahead and check in with all of you and see what you are up to on this fine evening as the sun has set. The busy orange fluorescent lights have come on. And let's start with Bat. Bat, what are you up to tonight?
I'm hanging out in a tea house where I watch for people that I know are to some extent like-minded. And I'm just basically surfing the dark web, looking for information on Initech and how they were able to manage this sudden takeover of their rival. Because I have suspicions about Initech, and I want them confirmed. I want to get in there and get what we need.
All right. Sergey, where are you at? Because this tea house is, of course, very familiar to you as well.
I am on my way. It's 7 p.m. I am on my way to work. But with all this like craziness going on his way to work, Sergey always passes by this Zan's, like it's some fucking advert thing, like advert kiosk, and it is always playing my music. So it's just it's a slap in the face every time I pass by it. So under cover of all this craziness, I'm actually trying to tear that thing open and get into its guts to wreck it.
Very nice. All right. Garp, where are you at?
I'm actually just outside the tea shop trying to interview former employees, seeing if they have any insider secrets they're willing to spew about the company now that they're no longer affiliated. I'm sure I'm going to be able to find somebody willing to spill the beans now that they are a free man.
When you say former employees, you're talking about you've managed to find some former employees of Fine? Fineco?
Yeah,
Okay.
the company that got acquired, and then presumably a lot of these people have been let go, right? So.
All right. So that's going to be, yes. So you have managed to find a couple people, and they are bloodied and bruised. They have barely escaped out of this corporation, this free-for-all grab for either eliminating redundancies or seizing the various assets of the company, including, of course, those human assets. And that brings us last of all to Ginny. What are you up to this evening? Are you also in the tea house?
I'm headed that direction, though I had spent most of the last several hours using the cover of all of the cacophony to hack into one of the billboards that's been on the fritz recently. It keeps flashing between 3 of the images that it used to display, and it's been driving me nuts. And I finally managed to get it to go to one of the images and just hold that for a few seconds before switching over. And I think I can get it to stop flickering between the other 2, but I'm going to go to the tea house for a break.
Okay. Well, as all of you are engaged in these activities, keeping an eye out, watching your back, but not really considering, you're not really targets tonight. Suddenly, there is a tremendous, and the power cuts. You have all lived through, there is brownouts, blackouts. This is not something that is unusual in Vector. At this point, the power grid is unreliable and constantly being patched by corporations, by vigilante electricians, by anybody who just needs to try to keep that power flowing. But there's a way that this is supposed to work. Like your battery-powered devices, your personal electronics. There's emergency generators. There's backup emergency lights. It all goes dark, like an EMP has gone off and killed every power cell in the city.
The dark web!
And there is a moment of a silence so profound that none of you have ever experienced before, without the hum of a single machine, of a light, of electricity, of a circuit flowing near you. And for 10 seconds, the city of Vector holds its breath. And then everything powers back up, but with a rather enormous difference. That as you are sitting at the tea house looking at your, what are you surfing the web on?
I'm looking for rumor. Oh, what device am I using?
What device are you using? Yeah.
I'm using whatever that thing is that Leela has on her wrist in Futurama.
You got it. As you're using your personal wrist device, it starts flickering wildly, flickering images, and you see surfacing out of the static an image of the code of the demon that you are looking for. and you see it is showing you part of a very old advertising, like a real estate advertising video saying, "Come to Angel Plaza, the heart of Vector City." Sergey, as you are have been trying to rip this kiosk apart, and for just a moment there, you think, like, did I do that? As the door shuts down. But the pieces come back to life in your hands as you, the broken, disparate pieces, as you jump back. It is playing your song, but not the artificial AI generated one. It is your original recording that you have not heard in ages. And you hear under that music a call, a feel, like a promise of something, the original passion that you had. And you hear more of that real estate video, the same one, saying, "At the heart of the city, everything can be yours that you ever wanted." Garp, as you are interviewing those two scared find employees that are half hiding in the doorway of the tea shop, frantically looking over their shoulder, one of them, who has implants into their head, you can see just standard corporation implants, suddenly goes rigid and says, "Everything shall be revealed in Angel Plaza." And Jimmy, that fritzing billboard that you've finally gotten to settle into one image, it flickers, and in giant lights you see the path that you have been following for the last years of your life, the clues you've been following, looking for this source file that you know is out there. You see somebody has tracked your progress, and you see everything, and a line comes down to the same real estate video as it says Angel Plaza, and it shows a map of where in the heart of the office wastes Angel Plaza can be found. "Everything you wop, 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 wop." And then all of you hear so clearly the words, "Help me." And suddenly your devices are all back to normal. The video is gone, the images are gone. That one fine employee that you were talking to, Gart, kind of gives himself a shake and goes, "Okay, that was super weird. Sorry about that. I need to go."
We're not done here. We're not done here.
Listen, I gotta get off the street, please.
Yeah, then
Is
step
there
into this
somewhere you
tea
can
shop.
hide me? Okay, yeah,
Into the
absolutely.
tea shop.
Okay,
Into the tea shop.
Yeah. What's your name?
I'm Garp. I'm with the
Garp.
Fuchsia Few.
Hey, with the what?
Fuchsia Few.
The Fuchsia Few.
Yeah.
I don't know that company. Is that like a subdivision?
Like
Zans.
we're an
Is that
independent
Zans?
newspaper.
That's. Oh, you're indie. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, man. That's cool. Let's go. I'm Jay. This is 079. Yeah, let's go inside. And you escort them in. What would you all like to do as you are converging on this tea shop together?
Well, I'm already in the shop, and Garp has just entered. So I think I'm going to bustle right over to Garp and pack up whatever I was pretending to drink and say, "Garp, you hear that Angel Plaza thing?"
Did you do that?
"No. I think it's a trap. You want to go?"
Yeah, let me get rid of these bozos real quick.
Yeah.
And the bozos in question are both looking right at you and look at each other like, "Angel Plaza? What?"
Yeah, what have you heard about Angel Plaza?
And they, Jay and 079 look at each other like, that's, I mean, that used to be Fineco's headquarters. It's, I mean, why, like, are you, it's, look, nobody's going to be going there, though. It's been abandoned and for years. Like, the VR setup. They had like this super fancy art installation VR setup, and it like went nuts decades ago. Like nobody gets in there anymore. Trust me, there's like nothing there.
Can you like
Definitely a
define nuts? Because like when you like, did you see the like images of the original CEO or like his daughter or his mom or his cat just walking around or something?
Oh, sorry, who was that question to?
079.
They were like, look, the original CEO, that was like 200 years ago, man. He was, like, there's, Fine Corp's been, moving through, it's been in receivership a couple times. Our current CEO, I mean, I think they might be dead, or like paid a lot of money and helicoptered out of the city. That's usually what happens when if something like this happens. Like they either like throw the executives off the roof or like pay them a lot of money to leave.
Hey, you two lost your jobs?
Yeah, are you hiring?
Define hiring.
Not if you want to be paid.
What I do is recruiting.
Oh. They look at each other and they're like, we've been recruited before, but we have a feeling from the look on your face that you mean something different.
Don't you hate Initech?
That depends. Are you recruiting for them? Because we need jobs now.
What if we lived in a world where you didn't need that?
Huh?
Join me.
And I just talk over Bat real quick, and I just ask, can you clarify for me? The CEO, do you think he died 10 years? Did he die 10 years ago when all that VR stuff went crazy, or like today, like an hour ago?
Well, I mean, the current CEO, I have no idea what happened to him. But yeah, the main CEO, like there was a big, big art installation. Angel City or Angel Plaza was, it's right there in the heart of like, when everything looked nice. That was like the place to work. But that was like 200 years ago. And now it's like infested with like crazy VR bumblebees or something nuts. And but yeah, no, it was the Herald, and that's Jay who's been talking, and 079 is pulling something up on their own wrist, and they're like, yeah, this is the place, and they show you the same real estate photos. They're just pulling up images for you, and it is indeed like it's one of these promotional like get a rent office space in Angel Plaza. And you can see it is, there's the original real estate images with, architecture renderings that look really pretty and have lots of trees and people like walking around. And you can also see there's some contemporary photos mixed in. And it looks like the rest of the office wastes look like, where it is creepy and decayed and falling apart.
Are you aware that you sang that advert to me that you're showing me?
What?
And I point at both of them.
They look at each other. They look at you like, what do you mean? Yeah, we just showed it to you.
You might want to go get, are they called Ripper Docs in this game? What are they called?
They can be called whatever you want them to be called.
You might want to go get a physical done.
Yeah. Oh God, our health insurance is gone. And they are going to wander off to the bar to try to get some tea before their credit cards or their company credit cards are discontinued.
As they leave, I'm going to lean to them and say, remember to think outside the box. They can't find you there.
And yeah, 079 gives you sort of an awkward thumbs up. Jay says, no, I saw that on like a motivational poster, like one of the ancient texts. Think outside the box. Yeah.
Garp,
And so they go off to the bar together.
Garp, we need to assemble the Fuchsia Few.
Wait, what?
We got a
Fuchsia
mission.
Few. That's the name of my newspaper.
Well, I thought it was our team name.
Oh,
I thought it was the name of
my.
I thought it was the
my
name of our
newspaper
revolutionary cell.
You're gonna get me in a lot of trouble if you start saying the future Few is not anything more than just a independent newspaper.
Well, they're all newspaper. We're all reporters.
I am a reporter.
Really? For a newspaper?
Yeah.
I have never seen paper, Garp.
Well, that's like, the vintage, the aesthetic.
The
It's going to be
aesthetic.
really big.
Yeah, it's gonna be big. Okay. Listen, let's get Jenny and Serge.
Yeah, I think at this point would be a good time
Yeah, I was
for
gonna
Sergey
say.
to come, like, tromping in the front door, just muttering under his breath about just how much he hates everything and everything sucks. And he just beelines, head down, beelines straight for the
Bar.
counter.
The counter?
I've worked at these sort of shitholes before.
Yeah, as you come in, behind the bar, Joni looks over at you and yells, "Sergey, you're late again." Dude.
Yeah, I know, whatever. I need to find something first. And he pulls up one of the, he rolls up to one of the registers, which is just minimally repurposed tablets. And literally just ignoring everyone else. I mean, there are demonstrably people in line waiting to place orders.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nothing. And he's swiped away from the register app, and he's pulled up, a whatever this system has for a browser. And
Joni's yelling, "Yeah, man, take your time. Do whatever you want."
Yeah, I will, man. Whatever. And he's trying to just do is like search up whatever he can find for Angel Plaza.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and let's have you roll. What should we call this? Let's make the first roll of the game. If you want to make a roll for, if there's something specific you're looking for, and actually I will amend that, because rolling has a cost because you lose your dice.
Yep.
If you were just looking for publicly available information, I can give that to you. If you're looking for something very specific or extra or hidden, let me know and we can make it a roll.
I'm really just trying to, like, this place isn't familiar to me.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of just looking up the basic stuff and trying to dive deeper from there.
Okay.
And just gather whatever information he can.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and make this a roll to try to gather? Because I will tell you right now, at the surface level, without making a roll for this, you're just going to get the same information that and Garp just got, where it's, you'll find where it is, sort of the general history. You'll know that it's an area that people don't go into anymore because it is dangerous because of bug swarms. But if you want to pick a stat and make a roll, you may for additional information.
I'm looking to use Heed to gather information.
All right. Then go ahead and give us a roll for Heed. Do you have anything in your dice pool for this one?
I've got 3 dice.
Oh, all right. Well, go ahead and give us a roll and tell me what your highest stat is, your highest result.
I got a 6.
Well, there you go. Yeah, you are no stranger to searching for information.
But not multiple 6s, just 1.
That's fine. You get, the way that the stat works is that you get, I've clicked away from it. Sorry, 1 second. Where's the numbers?
I think it's 4 to 5 is succeed with a cost, and 6 is just succeed wonderfully.
Yes.
Yeah, just the character builder roller thing said if I got
There it is. Sorry.
multiple 6s, I get extra stuff.
Exactly.
Also, page 10.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Sorry, the rolling the dice was 3 pages past where I thought it would be. So what do you want to know? Because you can tell me what information you are looking for.
It's a really good question. I want to know if there was specifically why this portion of the city was actually like cordoned off.
Sure. So you are able to, in a few minutes of research, very quickly you stumble upon a pretty good first-person history by somebody who is very passionate and has a whole website dedicated to the architecture and fall of individual buildings in the office waste, and they have a whole page on the Herald. The Herald, you learn, is one of the first and premier office buildings built in the city of Vector. When it was first established to be this techno utopia. It was outfitted with state-of-the-art, everything's automated, everything's computerized, everything is layers and layers and layers of technology. When things started going downhill, the Herald was one of the first buildings to fall. It became too expensive to maintain. And when the various programs that it had that control its inner workings, that control the various pieces of the building, and its security systems, all began leaking into each other as fine companies struggled to keep up the maintenance and the problems that came as the system got more and more complex. The kiss of death to this building was, as J and 079 let you know, was when those systems bled into a enormous VR AR exhibit that took up the whole lobby. And at that point, once that program was weaponized, the building just became uninhabitable. That said, you do notice something very unusual, Sergey. Typically, when a building like this becomes so infected that it cannot be used, eventually it is, over time, there are still people who are desperate enough to go in and strip it for parts until it eventually becomes a husk of itself. That doesn't seem to have happened with the Herald. It has been defended enough that nobody has really gotten in, and the power has never gone out. There is a series across the top of lit up physical statues of angels. It is themed to Angel Plaza, and at the center, one angel that with a trumpet that is the titular herald, that are lit up from below and have these flickering AR effects on them to make it look like they are moving. That has never stopped in 150 years.
Whoa. That's kind of nuts.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ginny, have you arrived at the tea house as well?
Yeah, I would say at this point, not knowing that everybody else experienced anything because I was alone, I'm incredibly excited, and I come bustling in and slide into the table across from Bat, just thrilled to bits of, I've had a breakthrough. Okay, I think somebody might be kind of cyber stalking me a bit, but it's rather exciting because they've pointed me towards the old city. It's one of the really old buildings, and I think that I finally might be onto something, you guys. I think I have a clue.
I just wanted to say I'm not at a table since Sergey came in. I'm looming. I'm trying to get Sergey's attention to tell him we need to go, that we have to, and he's already looking this stuff up, but I'm like, come on, we gotta get the cell together, man. And
in that case, I bounced past everybody in line and came right up to the counter next to Bat and just announced that to everybody that was standing there.
Yeah, so I definitely I'm at like a cooler of some kind, and I open the fridge and I buy a soda can out of the thing, and I go, yeah, Ginny, let's go. And we're all packed up, and I put the soda can in my pocket, grab my bag.
At least somebody in here is a paying customer, yells Joni,
I didn't
Yeah.
ring up.
looking at you two, Ginny and Ben, who are not buying anything.
Hey, who owns this place?
Sergey, do you know who owns this place?
I don't care who owns this place.
That's what I thought you'd say. You have no idea.
No.
No, I was actually asking, who was it that just said at least somebody's a paying customer?
Joni.
That's-
Sergey, as far as you all know Joni. She is, as far as you know, just another wage slave.
That's who
Like
I was.
Sergey
That's
is,
who I was
yeah.
addressing.
It's like, I don't know.
I don't buy things.
It's like
from
it's owned
Megan.
by. Yeah, she's like, well, yeah, good luck with that, because it's owned by some corporation that's owned by another corporation that's a subsidiary of some corporation. I don't know, man. I just work here, okay?
I buy things from mom and pop shops, and not tea houses. This is lame.
Oh, come on,
Well, I
Joni.
don't know
You
what-
know, if I was sitting down, I'd buy a drink, but this is an exciting day. I don't have time to buy something.
Did you see the power go out,
guys,
Ginny?
So, guys, gals, so
Mhm.
it looks like this place, this Angel Plaza,
Yeah.
it's still got all its copper wiring and shit.
Oh, not for long. Let's
Really?
go. Let's go.
You know, hey, let's go rip that out.
Absolutely. Hey, Joni, you're
Joni,
gonna have to
I'm
cover
going
for
on break.
Serge.
Oh,
Pay for
come
this
on! Are you serious?
Yes.
You're the best.
Yep.
I always pay when I come back and I leave.
Yeah, and yeah, just right back out the door.
Joni. I'll tell you what. I don't buy anything from this place, but I do tip, and I'm gonna give her whatever the smallest amount of currency is.
This is for the table.
Good question. What is the smallest amount of currency?
Cyber penny.
A cyber penny.
Oh,
But it's an infinity % tip because I didn't buy anything.
Get out.
And I'm out.
All right, and you guys are off, and so all four of you are traveling together. Okay, so far only Sergey has rolled. So you guys are moving through the city, and you are moving from. Let me see. You are in. Where is the tea shop? What part of town is that in? Are you on the edge of the office wastes already, or are you
We said
Close
where
enough
it
to-
was, I
Big
thought.
I'm gonna
Chasm,
call
or
shop being in. Yeah, probably the edge of the office wastes.
Okay. Edge of the office space. All right. Okay. So you guys have your address, you have a direction, and you know where you're going, but it is still you are heading straight into the heart of the riot. So I want to ask you all, what is your plan? The office wastes are not safe tonight. How do you intend to traverse? Because you have, you have the evening in front of you. You can choose how you would like to, what your strategy is going to be to get through this chaos. Talk amongst yourselves. I will be right back.
Oh, don't turn off the camera.
Okay, let's see. The skills that would be appropriate potentially: evade, detection, get out of harm's way, sneak past security, or heed, gather information, anticipate a threat. So either finding a safe path or anticipating a safe path.
Well,
Do
first
you
of
think
all,
we have a car?
if you're gonna tip, just minimum tip like $1, man.
I didn't
Like, I
have a
don't-
dollar.
Not much of anything, but
I'm something of a poor myself.
Hey, Serge. Serge, can you focus up? Can you put your hand in front of your camera for a second?
Yeah, you're out of focus. You gone blurry.
always.
If he's in focus, we have to pay for his likeness to the companies.
Oh,
He's doing this
yeah,
to save
look
us
at me.
money.
Yep. Yep. Well done.
So,
well done.
do you guys think we own cars?
I do not have a car.
I
Not an
definitely
operating
don't own a
one.
car.
Okay, I probably have a skateboard.
I'll steal a car. You want to steal a car?
If there's cars available,
If it's a corporate car, I'll steal it.
Yeah, let's do that.
this would be the night.
That
Let's
looks
go
good. No,
find
that was
some
good.
of those. What are they called? Talent acquisition vans, and just steal it.
Yeah, we'll
And
acquire.
grab the uniforms.
Okay.
We'll requisition it.
We're requisitioning this on behalf of the Fuchsia Few.
Are we representing your newspaper now?
No, it's our team name.
No. Oh my god. Sometimes I just know if I just ignore him, it'll be better because no one will believe him anyways.
You have to ignore me. If anyone sees me coming, that's it for me.
Yeah. So
We
we're gonna
all-
steal a car.
We all want to be like ghosts.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're stealing. We're
Invisible.
stealing a car. Sarah, you muted.
I am not muted anymore. All right, you're stealing a car. Well, who is going to? So when for a group activity, there's a couple different ways we can do this. For a house rule, what I propose is that as many people as you like can participate in this role. Everybody can make what I propose that we do here, and let me know what you think of this mechanic. Everybody who wants to can roll. It can be one person, it can be two, it can be three, it can be all four. I will take whoever has the highest success. Whatever you are doing, you are the one who succeeds, but everybody is going to spend their dice. So who would like to steal the car, and what you can do this as a group, however many of you would like to do it.
I will steal the car. I will roll my 4 hack dice for it.
All right. Oh, okay. Yep, because that is hacking into old technology.
Yep.
Does anybody want to assist?
So unless someone is better, using the situation, I want to find the people who are responsible for the talent acquisition van, and I want to distract them by trying to interview them. Ask them questions.
I
Just be a
appreciate that
hindrance.
there's a talent acquisition van. Did this happen while I was away from school?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Okay. All right. So Bat is going to attempt a hack to steal the car, and Garp, you were not stealing the car. You were attempting something different. What are?
Yeah.
So let's have both of you guys go ahead and roll those individual stats.
So I'm rolling charm just to
Okay.
clarify to everybody else. Okay. So I got a 5.
Okay. All
I
right.
also got a 5.
All right. So you have a 5 is a success with a threat.
Yep.
You can do what you want, but it is going to cost you in something. So let me go ahead and let me have Cody go first. You are able to, you walk up to the talent acquisition van, and you successfully start a conversation with these folks. What happens? What information do you get out of them? And what do you think the cost is that you are going to pay?
So I don't think you were here for this either, but I, for some reason, skateboarded around, and that's my primary mode of transportation.
Naturally.
So I roll up to these guys, and I start interviewing them, and I'm just like pen and paper, really old school, and I'm asking them questions, and they like look at me, and their display says unemployed, and they say he's unemployed. Get him.
Yeah.
And then I have to use my skateboard to flee. So
All right.
I won't be able to get to the van immediately.
But you draw off the talent acquisition specialist from the van. And Bat, you have a free reign to go in and as the specialists run off. So you tell me, Bat, as you are hacking into this van, what you are going to succeed, but what is the cost that you pay as you are forcing your way into control of this vehicle?
So remind me what you said about how the helping works.
So basically the way that a help roll will work is that I will take the highest roll. So both of you rolled 5s.
Yeah.
So 5 is going to be the maximum. But what would have happened, like Steve, if you had rolled, if your highest roll had been a 2 and Cody's had been a 5, then I would have allowed a 5. Would have been the roll.
Okay.
But since you both rolled 5s, it doesn't matter. Yeah. What's up, Cody?
So in my grid, do I just erase one of the dice? And then,
How many dice did you roll?
so I rolled 2.
You're going to eliminate both of those dice off of
Oh.
your grid and put them to the side.
Okay.
Keep track of them.
Okay, that's cool. And then in the event that I would have had one left, do I get to pick which box I took the dice out of? Ultimately?
No, you have to take the dice out of the pool. So you rolled your 2 dice that were in the charm pool. So you're going to take the 2 dice out of charm and put them to the side.
Yeah, so
If you have another charm roll, you're going to roll at disadvantage. So you'll roll twice and take the lower. And once you hit a 1, you can put dice back into charm, or you can put them anywhere you like.
I guess so if I only rolled 1 dice, like if we went back and only rolled 1 dice.
You wouldn't. You take all the dice.
Oh, it's always
Yeah.
all the dice.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Thank
have to.
Cool.
Yes,
Cool.
Jason's exactly right. You have to roll
Thanks,
the whole
Jason.
pool every time.
Yeah, that makes it really clear. Thank you.
All right.
It's
So
fun mechanic.
I think seeing Garp chased down by people yelling at him because he's unemployed, I think the consequence.
Contractor!
I think the consequence is that I get the van started and I start chasing them.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a consequence for them.
Yeah, but
but-
I've also completely blown our cover.
Okay, that makes sense, yes. So you are no longer stealthy about this.
Yeah, I'm
question,
like, get off
do-
my guy! Running them down.
Do Cinny and Cinny and Sergey, do Ginny and Sergey, do you guys hop in the van at this point as that is taking off?
Yeah, I have the door thrown open.
Obviously.
Yep.
Oh
okay,
yes.
Just checking.
Yes,
All
we're
right,
using
you are-
Garb's cover to all load up.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm chasing down those guys.
All right. Yeah, you easily scare off the talent acquisition folks. Garp does a cool sideways, does a kick flip into the van, bringing his skateboard with him through the open door, and you roar off down the streets. So let me go ahead, and we will go ahead and say that is you rolled well enough. That will get you. You're moving fast enough that, and you have a pretty solid cover now that you are able to proceed directly through this chaos towards Angel Plaza. Is there anything you want to do on the way there, or are you just heading straight there?
I want to swing through some place and get some coffee, like an American.
All right. Do you really want to do that?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm too poor. I gave my only cyber penny to Joni.
Yeah.
So, knowing that we're going to have to work our way through some sort of AI, VR, dreamscape, hellscape possibility, would there be anything that we would know of as far as a tool that would be helpful that we could swing by and pick up on our way? Some sort of, anybody got any supplies at their pad that would be useful for something like this? I mean, I've got my skeleton key in my pocket. I don't know if there's anything else that would be worth trying to pick up to prep for that.
I got a couple flash drives and a tuning fork.
I got a sody pop and a crowbar.
Oh, what do I have? I have a spring of pixelated lavender and a portable hotspot.
I also have some beads of amber in case we need to make things conductive, but just figured in case anybody was like, oh, I have a VR headset hacking device at home. I figured I'd mention.
I also have a harpoon. That's a
Why do you have that?
I don't have a
You're gonna have to make a roll for that one.
roll for harpoon.
Roll for harpoon. Yeah, roll for provisioning. I will say you actually know. I will say I'll give you for free just as your character. You would know that a couple of these items, the tuning fork wand and the sprig of pixelated lavender, are pretty effective at clearing out bad juju, for lack of a better term. So those are things that, as you guys are all sort of emptying your pockets and pooling your resources, you know that those are things that you can probably use in terms of clearing out this haunted ghosts in the machine. And I would say that if you want to try to pick up something along the way, I will say that I will say that that is going to be either an allied or a heed, in order to just or if you want to make an argument for another stat, you can. But I would say if you want to try to stop somewhere on the way, if you spot something that you think might also be useful to you, you can call out what it is and make a roll for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll heed, and since I am inquisitive and I am looking for something that would be useful, can I argue that that gives me an extra dice to this heed?
Yes, absolutely.
That takes me from
You can
3
do
to
that.
4.
Yep.
And I'm looking for something that I can use as either a medium to mix what they've got together to magnify it, or a third object, because the power of 3 will make it somehow more occultly effective.
Yep.
What I'm looking for.
Go for it.
I got a 6.
Nice. Okay, well, yeah. You luck out as you guys are roaring through the city. The closer you get to the center, kind of the more you're coming into the eye of the storm, where the people who are still here are either the victors or they are the fully defeated. So there's actually not a great deal of fighting left. It's mostly exhausted winners and losers. And you spot easily that there is there's an abandoned satellite technician van that you are able to pull up right next to. Tell me what you find in this van. You can have, at a 6, I'd say you can find up to 3 objects that you think would be useful in this van.
Oh, goodness.
And you can add them to your pockets.
I would say probably a glitch-proof stick of chapstick.
Okay.
A sheet of dragon temporary tattoos.
Okay.
And a corked vial of glitter, because I think that the glitter will combine nicely with the lavender.
Very nice.
We get a bath.
Okay. There is no bath bomb in the satellite technician video. I'm sorry, the satellite technician van. I'm sorry. You can probably make one later if you have time and some baking soda.
With the lavender and glitter, we're most of the way there.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I was
Exactly. Yeah, you can stop at a grocery store on the way home, drugstore. Okay. Does anybody else have anything they would like to do on their way to the plaza? If not, then we will go ahead and you guys easily scoop up those items, which Ginny is going to add to her pockets, and or you can distribute them as you see fit. And you roll the last 25 minutes easily through the city up to Angel Plaza. All right. So you pull, yes, by all means.
How big, how tall is Angel Plaza?
How tall?
Like how many stories?
Well, Angel Plaza is actually, as you pull in, I'll give you a little description.
Okay.
It is basically Angel Plaza is a office park. It is the kind of fancy downtown office park that you would see in the middle of a highly developed downtown area. We are talking high rises, skyscrapers, probably somewhere in the range of, what sounds good to you? I'm thinking probably 20 to 30 stories high.
This is like Rockefeller
this
Center in
is-
30 Rock.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Rockefeller Center or Pershing Square in LA, or that one place in Chicago that has the bean. But yeah, it's sort of that cemented over open space in the middle of the city with lots of benches, some scraggly remains of trees in sad little cement planters. In the center of this square, which is itself maybe the square itself is the size of like a large, it's the size of a small park, basically, cemented over benches, places for office workers to sit and eat their lunches, places for a couple of hot dog carts and things like that, some sad trees. And in the center of the square is the requisite art piece. And it is, of course, of an angel. It is a sad and destroyed statue. Time has not been kind to this angel. People have the bronze is scarred and weathered and unpolished and covered with very old bird layers of bird poop. It used to have. It's why it's very old, is because there have not been birds in this city in a very long time.
And no one cleaned the statue either.
And nobody has cleaned the statue either. You can see the stump of its arm. It used to be pointing upwards, but now it's sort of lopped off at the elbow. Somebody has taken that bronze with them at some point, but it is pointing where it would have been pointing. You can see, and you know from that real estate video, it would have been pointing up towards the Herald, which is the tallest building in this plaza. The other buildings may be like 15 to 20 feet. The Herald is a full 30 stories. It's a very short office park. 15 to 20 stories on the other buildings on the other three sides of this plaza. The Herald is a full 30, towering over all the rest. The angel is pointing upwards towards it, and Sergey, you in particular notice, having seen this description from earlier, those famous angels up on the roof are dark. The power is out for the first time ever.
Ooh.
And the second thing you notice is out of the open doors of the Herald are bodies. Somebody has tried to get in the chaos, and from the look of it, there are 7 or 8 bodies that appear to have been trying to run out of the shattered remains of the enormous glass front of this building. And they are face down, dead as they attempted to flee.
So they were attempting to flee the Herald.
Yes.
They wanted to leave the Herald.
And
Yes.
they're at ground level, right? We're not seeing bodies
Yes.
on the roof.
Nope.
Okay.
You can't see that far up.
Yeah, it
And
didn't make
they
much
are-
sense.
Are they out of the Herald or still inside the Herald?
Some of them are still inside and sort of draped over the doorways and the windows, the remains of the windows.
Okay.
I will tell you, I won't make you do a roll for it, but because you've seen chaotic scenes like this before, your guess is that it looks like somebody was trying to run, because these look like, people trying to loot and maraud and take advantage, who ran into something they were not expecting, and when they tried to escape, it was too late. They're all within maybe 15 feet of the Herald itself.
I would like to phone a friend.
Okay.
So, at some point in time, I probably have interviewed this person of interest, Devontae Lux, the
Yes.
megafauna, the crypto megafauna enthusiast.
Oh, very nice. Yes.
And I would like to call them because we've interviewed in the past, and if they will have my call, I would like to ask them what type of crypto megafauna to expect around the Herald, because I kept hearing that there'd be a lot of bugs in the area, and I don't know if my glitch spray is up to par for them.
Fabulous. Did you say glitch spray?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm making stuff up.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you're gonna make up something that's that powerful, I'm gonna make you run that past me, because
I was thinking like bug repellent. I don't know.
Yeah,
or just bug repellent. I
that's
guess
fine.
is fine.
But yes, you know what? I would allow you to like find something if you want to roll for it. But yeah, no, that is a great call. I will make that call for free. Absolutely. Yeah, Devontae Lux, let me have you. You can definitely get a hold of them, and they are happy to take your call. Let me have you, in order to see how much information you get out of them, or how much information they have, I'm going to have you roll on their behalf. What would you like to roll? I think this would be a heed, but if you want to make a pitch for another stat, I'm open.
Heat is definitely the best. I think we just go for that. This matches my inquisitive nature, I think.
Yes.
So I'm gonna bump that up to a 5.
Oh yes.
And I'm gonna my dice pool is empty, but 1 now. Just so everyone knows where we're at.
Docker.
Just go to my job. Oh, I got 3 6s, a 1 and a 2.
Okay, so as you are all surveying this this scene of chaos and taking a moment of this chaos and destruction, taking a moment of how are we going to do this? You all hear a little beat behind you, and Garp is on his arm thing, which you have decided you all have. Has pulled up. Hey, Garp, what's going on, man? How you doing? Staying safe?
No.
Sorry, hang on. Whoop. Sorry, hold on. Sorry. I'm up to my ass in alligators here. Go back in the pond. Back. What's up, man?
Yeah.
I thought that was really you doing that. I thought our kid was up again.
Devontae's like, yeah, that was my kid.
Yeah, I know.
You think I really have an alligator in my house?
Scaled babies. Yeah, get it.
Scaled babies.
So I'm in a not so good place in
babies.
town, filled with crypto bugs. And I'm an unknown variety. What's like the best all-purpose way to protect myself?
There is no best all-purpose way. Where are you?
I'm at Angel Plaza. You know, the
Herald. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the Herald. Oh man, I love that building. That is so crazy. Do you know what happened there? It was wild. They had like this big art exhibit down in the lobby, and then like the security system got like mixed up with the AR. So what their whole art exhibit was like this huge field of wildflowers. It was like this beautiful AR landscape that people would walk through. It was totally interactive. You could smell the flowers, you could hear the bees. Security systems bled into it. Somebody had the bright idea, like, oh, let's make security, more palatable, and they decided to weaponize the bees. And guess what? That didn't go very well at all.
Oh, it's
a
bees.
fascinating system. It's literally bugs. It's like bees. Yeah, like big fat bumblebees, like crazy fat ones. But yeah, they look like a bumblebee and they sting like a wasp. And when I say sting like a wasp, I mean they deliver like tons of neurotoxin. It's so cool.
That sounds awful. But they're alive, right? Or are they robots?
No, they're little drones. They're little drones. Yeah. So actually, what you're gonna want to do if you're looking at that, I mean, it's pretty gnarly in there, man. I would be real. Well, honestly, I wouldn't I can't in good conscience recommend that you go in there, but I can also say it would be totally rad if you did. You're gonna want to. There are bees. I think that's really the key. And you know what bees like? Bees like flowers. So if you've got, you're gonna want to kind of approach this as I'd recommend you're gonna want to build out a program here and try to lull them. The word I'm thinking of is like some sort of flower power or flower shield is my advice. So I would say, yeah, something calming like that would probably be my recommendation.
So, like you say, shield, would like bait not be better to lure them away from the direction we're trying to go? Like maybe
That
we
would
set up
work
some
too.
flowers or like some sugar for them to go in. You know,
They're
more.
bees, not hummingbirds, so I would definitely not go with the sugar. You're gonna want to think pollen.
Okay.
Yeah, you should look. I know you're not really into wildlife, man, but you should, like, if you're gonna be like taking on, cryptofauna like this, you should really probably like do a little more. Well, I mean, I guess you're calling me, so
That's you're the
but,
you're
that's fair.
you
Yeah.
you are my route. I'm tapping.
Yeah,
You know?
sorry, I'm not trying. Sorry, I shouldn't tell you. Like, this is my specialty. I just kind of forget sometimes that people don't really care, like I do. So that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
We
Man.
just care about different things. I care about asking the right questions, and
Yeah.
you know, you care about.
Tell him the power's out.
Oh, the power's out. Also, I'm also like walking around just the van, like looking at.
Yeah. Power's out. Oh, did you get like that weird power outage?
Yeah.
Like for the whole building? Yeah, that was weird. So wait, are you telling me like the Herald is down?
So isn't there like normally like an art exhibit like displaying on the statue? It's not there. They're just dead bodies everywhere.
Oh. Okay. Well, I gotta tell you, I don't know how that's gonna interact. I mean, that could be good for you, because that means that there's not as much power flowing into the exhibit, but it could be really bad. I have noticed like the city's back on, so I would expect that security systems typically run on backup generators. So I would not expect the bees to be down 100%. I honestly don't know how that's going to interact. I don't know if that's going to be better for you or worse for you.
Also, you just reminded me, if we do get full power while we're inside, the bees are going to be at full cap when we're outside. We're on our way out. So thanks.
Yeah.
Dr. Lux, I appreciate you.
Oh, hey, I appreciate you too, man. Hey, let's grab a drink next time. If you survive, I want to hear all about this, dude.
Oh, you can read about it.
Notes.
Yeah, it'll be in the newspaper.
Oh, fabulous! Send
I'm
me
bringing it back.
Send me a copy. Yeah, please don't die. I want to know how this works out.
All
right, I gotta go. Bye.
Ciao.
Okay, so we're all on the same page, right? We need to get a winch, hook it to the back of the van, rip the statue out of the ground. Obviously, whatever secret thing is there, it's going to be under the statue.
Yeah, I got a crowbar.
It's a giant bronze statue that hasn't been cleaned of bird shit in several hundred years. Obviously, the secret thing is under there. Right?
It's all about leverage. Yeah, we got this. I hand you the crowbar.
Nobody's got a winch.
I don't have a winch, but
check your pockets.
Well, you try.
As you say that, a light flickers in the corner of your eye. All of you turn and you see at the top of the building those famous AR lights. They flicker, and the angels across the top of the building light up one by one. Just
biblically accurate angels, or
they are not
back online.
And then they go down again. It's just a quick flare of lights, but then they go down.
It's the statue trying to communicate, guys. We got to get it out of the ground.
There's a loud.
This is fascinating.
And just the main angel in the middle, the herald angel with the trumpet lights up, buzzing loudly, brightly, brighter than it typically does, where it's not even an AR flicker. It is just a straight up spotlight. And then again.
I'm now out of the
with
van
that-
trying to kick the statue down.
All right.
You know, that I think the angel wants us to go up there.
You guys have any idea how exciting this is? I mean, this is the one power source that has been running the entire time, and now something has interrupted it, and it's still happening. Whatever's happening is still happening. We could learn so much.
Do you think it has something to do with the arm missing from the statue?
Probably.
The one outside? Oh no, we need to get in there.
Yeah. Why don't you
Yeah,
go
that one's
see if you can.
probably inside.
You
It
think the
probably
arm
One
is
of you
inside?
had flowers, right?
All
I can
the
play Bee
secrets.
Charmer. I want to try and take the pixelated lavender and combine it with my glitter and create some sort of a smoke-like effect to put the bees near us into sleep, the way that Bee Charmers would.
Sure,
You
I guess you can
smoke
have
them
my
out.
do
lavender.
that.
Yeah, just take
Take-
that instead of helping me with the statue. Sure.
Yep. Okay, so you've got the glitter, you've got the pixelated lavender. Does anybody want to help Ginny? Because this is going to be. Let me see. What would you like to call this? What stat would you like to roll?
I'm
see
hoping
how
to call this a
successful-
cult.
I would
A
like
cult?
to.
Yes.
I would like to help also with a cult, since it's
Okay.
my lavender. I'll cast a spell on it.
Yes, in this case, yeah, a cult is referencing not just literally ghosts, but because technology is so intertwined with the occult, with the uncanny, with the inexplicable. There is absolutely both of you can go ahead and roll your occult and add. Who wants to add the Ginny? You can add the glitter die, the extra die for the glitter, and then who wants to roll lavender? Bat or Ginny?
That's your lavender.
Yeah,
Do you want it?
I rolled the lavender. I got a
Okay.
3.
All right. So with one die for the glitter, that gives me 5 to roll. I got.
And I will say you
a
can
6.
take it. Hey!
Just
All
one.
right.
I got a 6, 2 5s, a 1, and a 3.
All right, terrific. So that does it. Between the two of you, Ginny, with Bat holding this lavender in place for you, you do in fact whip up. How do you do this? Do you want to describe how you?
I'm sorry.
how
You heard that I rolled a 3, right?
Yes, but this is a help action. So because you both did the same,
Oh, right.
you were
Yeah,
both
you said
working
that.
on the
Okay.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So the highest roll. Yes. So you contributed both your dice pools towards one roll. So the highest dice takes it.
Gotcha.
So Ginny, do you want to describe what this looks like?
Absolutely. I would say I'd get Bat to hold the lavender out and get the glitter out and start sprinkling it over while talking about the fact that this is going to be, it's going to commune with the vibes in the lobby, and the bats are going to just, or the bees are going to just sort of breathe in this calming effect, and it's going to just sort of obscure us from their vision. It's going to be lovely. And as I am getting it sprinkled over, it creates almost this sort of glowing effect, kind of just pulses off the lavender gently.
Nice. And so you walk forward. Do you walk into the building at this point, sprinkling this glitter before you?
Yes.
All right.
Trying to pull Bat along with me, like, okay, come on, we got to keep together. Bring the pace through.
All right.
Well, Sergio will keep up with them. Try to
Okay.
keep an eye out for stuff.
As you walk forward into this building, sprinkling this lavender-infused glitter before you, you see as you walk in, what was once this field of beautiful wildflowers has now decayed into something hellish and horrific. The colors are all inverted. All of the shaders, all of the meshes. I can't remember the word I'm looking for, but I'm sure people who watch this know what I mean. It's all gotten flipped and reversed and creepy, and the bees have just grown to the size of the size of geese, for lack of a better thing to describe it. But as you walk in, there is a zzz rising, but as Ginny throws this glitter down, it's like a soporific effect. It is, as soon as the bees hit this glitter area, there's just a zzz, and they go back from these crazed attack bees into their old pattern where they're just bzz, gently circling you all. They don't go away, but they revert back to their, what they were originally programmed to do, which is gently buzz amongst the wildflowers.
Jenny, how do we kill them now?
We don't.
I don't think we can. We just have to hope that this doesn't run out until we're through the lobby. I don't know that it'll last to come back out though.
They have a deadly neurotoxin.
Yeah.
Can we get them to use it on themselves?
No, but we can.
They're drones, right?
Yeah.
They are drones.
From the control panel on the other side, we might be able to reprogram them.
Let's get upstairs.
From upstairs, we can try.
Let's focus on that.
All right. So I will say, you see in the lobby, you see two options. You see a elevator panel in front of you that you can you have enough glitter to make. And to the left, you see the emergency stairwell, and that is a little bit further away. You're gonna have to really conserve your glitter to make it to that stairwell.
Do we feel lucky about the elevator, or do we want to climb some stairs?
What do you think, Sergey?
Honestly, I think we should I don't trust an elevator in a building that is having power problems.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Head for the stairs.
All right. So you are going to go ahead and do that. By the time you make it there, you are down to a single file line, and you are following in each other's footsteps. You have probably a gap. You reach the end of your glitter, and there is maybe a 10-foot gap between you, Ginny, in the front, and those stairs. So not horrible, but still, the four of you are looking at this gap and thinking about ways to cross it. But before you can do that, there is a behind you. And you all turn around and see, standing in the doorway, stepping out into this path of glitter that you've left behind you across the lobby, is a young woman in the sharp black suit and practical yet fashionable and expensive boots of a high-level executive officer, surrounded behind her by at least 4 assistants that you see. And she looks around, she clears her throat, she's like, my goodness, I see somebody has gotten here before me.
I have put my finger into the coat pocket to look like a gun. And I'm just trying to look intimidating.
So I'm assuming, I'm going to make a quick assumption here that Sergey is in the back.
Sure, by all means, call it. Yes, you're in the back. And it's probably a good 40 feet between you and this person.
You know, I mean, Sergey was not a guitar player. He was not. He was a horn player, and he wants to.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I don't play guitar players.
Yep.
But he wants to call on, you know, his old horn training, get a big old lung full of air, and blow the glitter behind us away.
That's what's up.
Yes,
Brilliant.
Awesome.
absolutely. I want you to make a roll for me on that one. You can choose whatever. What's that? Evade? Yeah, absolutely. Evade.
Kind of evading.
I would take evade or charge.
I'm gonna go with evade over charge if I can
Yeah.
take it.
Absolutely.
You get an
go
extra
for it.
backstory die for being a horn player.
Yeah,
You
I
know
would say
what?
yeah.
I'm not gonna take that because I got 2 6s.
All right.
Let's go.
You you do it. You absolutely, you suck in your air, and with all of your training and all of your rage, blow, and this glitter dust explodes outwards into the air. And you know what? At 2 6s, I'm gonna give you something additional. It doesn't just, it has that effect where you blow down on it. It bounces off the desk when you blow. The desk happens to be shaped in this weird architectural shape that happens to be a big old curve. And you know what? You not only successfully blow this glitter and break the path, it disperses into the air, and you have cleared that 10-foot gap between your group and the stairs.
Yes.
Nice.
Book it for the door.
I am
As
going
we're
to assume
running-
you guys, yes, by all means. What happens as you run?
I just a question. Were those 4 assistants, did they have guns?
Yes, they do now.
No.
Didn't want to find out.
Yeah,
I didn't either,
They
but
are
like, is
not
it, or they're like,
firing.
if they're walking around like this,
Oh, no, nothing so egregious, nothing so tacky.
Overt.
What they have, yes, this is not. This
They
is
got
not
little
some sort of
James Bond
military
pistols.
junta. Yeah.
The little noisy crickets.
Yes, you see this woman gestures, and a couple of her assistants, and more to the point, she has with her three drones, like actual little floaty drones, come charging at you. They are not engaging with you with lethal force, but they are charging towards you. Let me so yes, they are coming at you. With Sergei's roll, unless somebody wants to take some action, I will tell you, if you are all running directly to the door, you are going to make it ahead of this this group coming up behind you, because the humans are going to stop when they hit the edge of that field, but the drones are still coming. What would you guys, do you want to take any action other than sprinting for this door?
I would like to take an action after we're through the door and slam it closed and try to jam it.
oh, use the crowbar.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
Sergey gave to me
Sergey's
earlier.
just trying to get
I
through
gave
the
to you.
door.
Oh, you gave it to me. Yeah,
Oh.
I will jam it. What should I use for that? Hack again?
I will make you roll for that. You can have that for free. You can make it through that door, coughing to some extent from getting a whole lungful of glitter lavender dust in your lungs, which is very effective at evading the bees, but also it's not great to inhale.
I'm
Coughing
pretending
and
like I'm
choking.
fine.
Yes.
From Mia in the chat.
Yes.
Be calm.
Yes.
Be calm. Yes. Be calm. Yes. Good advice too. You barge through that door. You slam it behind you. You get that crowbar in through the handle. Jam it into place. You hear the boom, boom, boom as the drones hit the door behind you. But this is a fire safety door. It is not easily trifled with. And as you are all panting in the stairway, catching your breath, there is a distant boom, boom, and the power flickers again, there is emergency power is running in this hallway, and you see it flicker, 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 flicker. And when it comes back up again, it only comes up at about half strength. And there is a little inset glowing panel in the doorway, or in the wall next to the doorway, that would typically just be displaying like the weather and what floor you're on. And it glitches, and then the word appears, hurry. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right.
Excellent. Well timed.
Great first half of the game, guys.
Yes,
Very
thank
fun.
you everyone for watching. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back. Nobody's eating. Nothing's happening.
Yeah,
There's no chips.
It's
There's
all
no
below
popcorn.
frame.
It's on record that we're out of popcorn, by the
It
way.
is.
On record.
It is?
In the Twitch
Several
chat.
of us.
It's in the Twitch
At least
chat.
Mia and I are both.
Mia and Meredith are out of popcorn.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry. I
Sarah
can't see
was
the
thinking we
chat
needed to
from
run to
there.
the grocery store tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, like, we have a ton of popcorn.
Yeah, we have literally
Trust me, I
a
looked at
metric ton of popcorn in the cabinet. It's
Ah,
weird.
drop it in the mail.
I don't know if it's a metric ton. Maybe like in volume, it's something.
A lot of popcorn.
Yeah, we bought one of those giant Kirkland packs of popcorn from Costco, and I think it's been about a year and a half. And it's,
Well, Johnny's the only one that eats.
he does eat an entire bag. Anyway, so welcome back. We were just saying, Cody, for your role when you went to interview the talent acquisition folks, because you did get a 5 on that. Is there anything you would like to gain? Because you did successfully lure them away. You wanted, I believe, an interview with them. So if you want, we can retroactively say, you know, you got enough information for your interview with 5 before they started chasing you. Is there anything else you want to claim out of that encounter, or if there's something along the way of the adventure where you're like, actually, something that they said to me that would help in this game?
So, how about this? What company did they work for? They didn't work for Fine, did they?
We didn't say which one. They did not work for Fine, because Fine is
doesn't.
not recruiting right now.
They probably worked for Initech since it was an acquisition.
They can work. Yeah, they can work for anybody. They could work for Fine. They could work for M&A. They could work for or for Vance.
So, how about this? A new company being
Ooh,
introduced. So, it'd
okay.
be the equivalent of like Allied Security.
Okay.
And I want to grab an ID badge off of them, like a
Sure.
like a
Okay.
fob that in theory will work on doors.
Sure. So you're looking for a fob that will work here in this building, assuming that Allied Security is a subcontractor of Fine.
Yeah,
I would.
that's a stretch, but you know,
Yeah.
it's I know it's pretty likely because I know that's just not how security works. But it'd be
I will
something I
say-
swiped.
It could
Yeah,
be
you
in the
have
future.
a. Yeah, I'll say that you do indeed have a fob / badge, but you have that may come in handy in the future. So
Is
you
it like a
can let me
photo
know.
badge?
Sure, it can be
Cool.
a photo badge.
Because I can at least use it as a disguise also if it doesn't work on
Yeah.
the door.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna say that it probably isn't gonna work in this building, just like you can't badge through a door, but definitely it's something that's in your inventory, and you can use it. You can attempt to use it later for a bonus die if you find a situation. It's added to your pockets.
Got it.
Okay. All right. All right. So it's time for y'all to climb some stairs. So while you are doing that, the panels at every floor there is a little tablet screen display set into the wall next to the door, and it is flashing hurry, hurry, hurry at you. But in between those flashes, it starts doing something else, and it is playing a new promotional video for you as you are climbing these stairs, and it is playing a at this. It's playing the welcome video that a new employee gets, the orientation video, where you see, in fact, that old CEO that Garb was asking about, the original CEO. This is a historic video from 175 years ago. And it's him smiling at the camera saying, "Welcome! We are so glad you chose to join Fine Corporation. We're pleased to welcome you to our wonderful company at the heart of Vector City. We are truly the spirit that keeps this city alive." And I do mean that in a literal sense. Fine Company, with our other corporate partners, has animated this city into a technical utopia beyond any just blah, 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 where it is talking about how the city is going to change the world, make everybody's lives easier, but you should still work very hard for them as an employee of Fine Corporation. And he talks a little bit about the Herald. And this is going on as you climb up through floors 1 through 5. And just as y'all are starting to think, like, should we stop? Should we start exploring? Another thing starts flashing, and that is the number 15. Yes.
Two things I want to grab in the stairwell. You said the doors were fire code, so there's probably a fire axe in the stairwell.
Yeah.
At some point, I will use whether I need to use the crowbar, and I'll grab an axe out of one of those little fire boxes. And
Oh, you don't have the crowbar anymore. We used it to wedge the door.
Yeah, you did.
Right. I use my skateboard.
You know what? Sure.
And I smash the glass and jiggle it around and grab an axe. And I look at Surge, and I look at Bat, and I look at Surge. Give it to Bat.
You may add a fire axe to your pocket. Bat.
You got it.
Not literally, but you know, you're in between.
He is also the craziest person to. He's probably the most likely person to charge at somebody with an axe. And,
I don't think I am, but I'll take the axe.
and I'm also going to keep an eye out for those AED boxes that are standard in OSHA compliant stuff. And
Yes.
one of those, I will give those to Sergey.
And that is the automated defibrillator. Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. You absolutely can have both of those things. You can have a fire axe and one defibrillator. I will say whether or not that defibrillator works at this point. We're gonna find out if and when you need it. That is not a guarantee.
Serge, you okay with holding that, or did you want me to hold that? You good? Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't know that. I think when you take that, Bat's gonna say, if I go down, don't you dare use that corpo fit on me. They're probably gonna charge my family. Probably gonna send a bill.
You have no family.
Is there a particular building you'd like us to try and transport your soul to in a flash drive? We've got a couple handy.
Yeah, take it to outside. Take it to outside Vector City and set it free.
Just throw it in the
Where
river.
that's-
Actually, you can just plug it right into this. I'll pull out my hotspot. It's pretty sad.
I have a. You're saying this out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. You're at floor 5 when it starts flashing it starts flashing 15 at you. Do you keep climbing the stairs towards floor 15, or do you want to take any different action at this time?
I see no reason not to go to 15. We're only here because of this weird ghost.
Absolutely. As you keep climbing, it is still playing the corporate video, and now it's getting into like Fine Company's values and our corporate mission. And here's the information about our generous benefits package. And but the images are up to a corner of the screen, And the screens, as you guys climb, are filling up with security camera footage. The building is showing you what's going on. You see a few things. You see down in the lobby, there is now a swarm of corporate people that are, and you see that the young person in the executive outfit is giving direction as the technician is carefully scooping Ginny's glitter powder off the floor and handing it off to another technician who's like got a little centrifuge machine, and they're quickly like figuring out it's not a particularly challenging thing to reverse engineer, so it's not going to take them very long at all to figure out how you did this and replicate it. At the same time, they're also showing you security footage of the roof. On the roof, you see that there is a grappling hook that is being shot. Like somebody keeps trying to shoot a grappling hook over the edge of the roof, and it's taking you a few minutes to climb. And eventually, though, you see it hook and grab. And this is one of those high-tech ones. It's not like a pirate one. It's it's one that.
No, it's a pirate one.
Yeah, okay, it is a high-tech one. Because and one by one these grappling hooks are gripping on.
There's multiple.
And you see, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one grips, and then a few seconds later the second one, the third one, and you see climbing up onto the top of the roof
Batman.
are do you say Batman?
Yeah.
Sadly, it is not Batman. It is folks dressed as folks in, how do I describe this? It is, I think the best way to describe it is Wasteland, Mad Max, crazy
scavengers.
Scavengers, thank you. That's
Pirate.
what I was looking for.
Oh.
Yeah,
Cyber
scavenger,
pirates.
mercenary, yes, cyber mercenary, armed to the teeth, strapped with weapons, gear. A lot of these folks have shaved heads, tattoos, very prominent implants everywhere, bulked out armor, cyber armor, and a lot of cybernetic limbs. There's also some autonomous robots mixed in with this group as they are coming in. They are pouring over the edge of the roof on the 30th floor. And you guys recognize who these folks are. This is members of the Exalted Machine. They are a pretty well-known cyber cult, a nihilistic cyber cult in the city. And one of you knows somebody, you recognize somebody who is pulling themselves over the top, who is a leader in this organization. Who would like to know somebody in the nihilistic cyber cult that wants to turn everybody into a machine? All right, Bat, tell me who you recognize.
The Great Humongous.
The Great Humongous. Okay. Which is pretty funny because he's actually a pretty small guy.
But his boots are that thick on the bottom.
His boots are that thick on the bottom, and he actually is notorious for having an enormous cyber presence. Like, he is not somebody you want to go up against if you are attempting to out-occult this guy through the systems of the city. And he may be small in physical stature, but he is rather infamously tough to fight for system control. And so that's what you're seeing, and you see all of this going on as these folks are pouring over the roof. There's maybe about 12, and there's still more people coming over the edge of the roof as they are trying to force their way through the fire escape door on the roof behind all the angel statues. That is the point. And meanwhile, you see in the lobby, this executive and her technicians are starting to test out this glitter. And one of them tries something, steps on it, and the bees swarm them immediately, and they go down hard. And this executive is like, try again. And they do.
Given the choice between the two groups, I picked the nihilists.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what you see when you get to the 15th floor and you open the door. All right.
Should we,
You open-
should we try and make it look like we went in on a different floor?
I imagine the buildings, the screens all over the building are flashing the number 15.
Well, they're clearly watching, so let's just tell them to stop. Building, will you please stop?
Or
There
flash a
is-
different number.
Yeah, flash 17.
There is a moment of pause from the building, and you feel the screen freezes mid-motion, and you feel sort of a groan in the building,
That's a good building.
if-
You can do it.
as if it's making an effort. And not just in the sense of the cameras and in the videos, but something that just pulls all the way up from the cement roots of this building. And then all the screens in the stairwell, and you can see up and down, start flashing randomly generated numbers. Every screen is flashing a different randomly generated number.
Thank you.
I will say though that there is physical lettering, physical numbering on the doors, so it won't disguise the actual numbers of the floors.
No,
Yeah.
but it
But-
will disguise where it told us to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I use potentially my allied skill to run up the stairs a little farther to leave footprints in the dust so that they don't see that we all stopped at this floor, and just kind of up and down the stairs a couple times while they're getting the door open so that it looks like we kept going?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Go ahead and roll for that.
I have one die.
Very good.
It's a 4.
All right. So that is going to be on page 10. Okay, so that is a success with the threat. So you do indeed successfully lead those tracks, and I'm going to tell you what happens this time. And that is, though, while the rest of the crew is at the door waiting for you, you see that the executive downstairs has successfully cracked this formula. And you see her technicians are moving fast. They have covered the entire lobby with glitter, and she is striding with her assistants, her drones, her mercenaries in tow right at the stairwell door. And that is the last thing you see before the building gives you that glimmer, and then the door next, and then it goes back to the flickering numbers.
Oh, you guys were
Well,
going to
you
get a
left a little
lot
bit
of
of time.
company.
All right, you go through the 15th floor door, I'm assuming, and you find yourself in a quiet, decayed office space. Looking around, this looks like typical, ancient office that you would find in any office waste area. Open air bullpen, plants rotting in their planters, what was once colorful, attractive carpet and furniture that has now gone faded with time and what little sun you do get. Go ahead, Beth. What was that?
After Ginny returns, can I use my allied skill to remove the traces of our footprints heading into this door?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and roll for it.
Here we go. I rolled with 1 die for a result of 6.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, bad. This
Yeah.
is move.
You nail it. Yeah, there is. You don't. you know that you've successfully removed these footprints, and you finalize what Ginny started, and it looks like, you know, you guys went up one more floor, or as many, you know, up to 2 more floors. All right,
Awesome.
fabulous.
Always have a conspiracy theorist cover your tracks.
That's right.
Of course.
All right.
But am I really a conspiracy theorist, or am I just saying what everyone else is too afraid to say? I mean, it's not like anyone denies that the megacorps run the world.
Is it a conspiracy, though, that if the megacorps are out there? All right, so what would you like to do as you look around this quiet, hushed office floor? It's dark. It's long abandoned office. What would you like to do?
Hey,
any
Ghost, are you here?
Oh, I guess I can attune to the ghost field and see which way he's trying to impression us.
That's some Blades in
Yeah.
the Dark shit. Attuned to the ghost field.
I know I was gonna say that.
Doesn't it literally say that in the PDF though?
It does say
Yeah.
ghost field. Yeah,
Ghost field.
it does use the phrase ghost field, but attuning to the ghost field.
I walk up to another control panel, and I just USB in. And,
USB-C.
I like, yeah, and I like Ouija boarded it up, and I just go left or right, and then it just like displays an arrow, and I'm like,
It displays an arrow on your arm, and it doesn't move as you move your arm. Do you want to make a roll for that?
yeah, nice. I got a 6.
All right.
Was that
So,
one die?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Rolling insane tonight.
What if I can
Building
roll
is on our
so we
side.
landed the tray?
It is. It is.
It
Yeah.
just- FYI.
Okay. So you'll be rolling, everything at disadvantage from this point. All right.
Unless
So
we use our pockets.
that you say that out loud, or you're asking building, can you help us here? And there is just a flicker and a pop of a bulb, sort of trying to light and and not exploding, but just like the filament breaks and dies. But as Garp, you head over, and what do you do to? Where do you plug in? Where do you look for to plug into?
I assume that they have breakout rooms and meeting rooms on this floor, like on the side of the bullpen. And in my office, we have iPads on all of them to do meeting room organizing stuff, right?
Yep.
Who's booked that stuff? And I just jack into one of those.
You jack into one of those, and the when you do, the tablet display lights up, and it says IT floor meeting room 5. And as you do, a line of tablet signposts light up, lighting a clear path down the hallway that is leading you towards, and you can just see at the far end, as you follow down this path, at the very end, it's the final one says server room.
Secrets are in there, Bat.
Let's go!
All
I'm
right.
just charging to the server room.
You charge into the server room. Okay. So you are going to make it in there. As you do, though, let me see. Where should I put this? No, you know what? That's fine.
I immediately die.
You die. The end of adventure. Goodbye. So you are going to, you charge, and you, not literally roll, but you fling the door open, and you see that this room has been pillaged. This is, somebody has gone through, because you obviously, this is an incredibly expansive room, much bigger than a server room you would expect to find in an office. You fling open this door expecting sort of like a like maybe a small office room size server room with, maybe 3 or 4 rows of racks. This, you open it up and you realize that the entire core of this floor is all server racks. And there are easily, this is a typical size office building, and the core of the building, it is maybe 20 rows deep of server racks, and each server rack is it's more long and shallow, and each rack is maybe about, I'll say, another 20 feet long. So it is a huge room. It's a low room. It's not that tall. It is, the size of a, maybe like a standard 10, 12 feet tall building or room. But yeah, it is packed with servers. And you see that these servers are dying. One by one, the lights are, even as you look, like the ones near the door are still lit up, but the ones further away are flickering and going out.
I'm sorry. Did you say the server racks individually are 20 feet wide?
Not 20 feet wide, but like they're like a normal server rack. They're like, they're long ones. So they're like a server rack, server rack, server rack, server rack. So it's
Okay.
each row, there's 20 rows, and each row is 20 feet long.
Gotcha. I was picturing gigantic computers.
No, they're not 20 feet wide computers.
Okay.
They're still typical, like, maybe 2-3 feet wide, with with narrow 1.5-2 feet between them.
ATX file.
Yeah. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna
Okay.
charge around blindly, brandishing the axe, yelling, "Ghost! Ghost! Where are you? We're here!"
I start writing in my blog.
Can you tell us? Can you tell us how to destroy the corpse?
While he does that, seeing as I've come upon a treasure trove of information and I'm watching it vanish before my eyes, I want to try and determine if there's a way to stabilize the system and stop what's left from crashing, or figure out what's causing the crash to try and find a direction to start fixing.
All right, go ahead and roll occult for me.
Okay.
And this is, I
have
think
anything in
it's
my-
going to be at disadvantage. Until you
It
hit
would,
Would there be
unless I can use my encrypted skeleton key card somehow, but I don't know that that would be helpful.
I'll allow it.
Or
Yeah,
just-
you can.
It gets you in there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
you
So then I
can
can just
use
do a
that.
straight roll of one die.
Straight roll of one
Get
die.
it. Get it.
I'll allow it.
3.
Okay. So that is going to be a failure, but with an opportunity. Okay. So you attempt to. It's not like there's a built-in monitor or workstation here. You try to brute force your way in using your skeleton key to try to bridge that gap between your personal device and the server rack, and it knocks you back a few steps, gives you a nasty shock, and the server rack you were trying to plug into dies in front of you. But as you do, you see on your arm information has been transmitted in. And so what you see is the specs for this room. You see that what is going on is that there has been a power disruption. And you can see, because it's basically giving you the emergency alert for what has gone wrong. There has been a power disruption, and the servers are dying one by one because the power flow it looks like somebody has managed, in fact, to rip that copper wiring out of the panel down in the lobby. And you need to find a way to restore the power flow to this room, to find another source. to get the power flowing again, or these servers are going to keep dying one by one.
Probably those dead guys downstairs.
Yeah, now that you think about it, you think you saw them holding, clusters of wires in their hands as their dead corpses.
Yeah. The power went out. They figured this was their opportunity to loot the building. They got in. It
Exactly.
came back on.
I find it hard to believe that would not have taken all the copper wire he could see.
I will allow you to retrocon that and say that you did.
Okay.
And Ginny is also carrying some copper on her.
Yes, I've got little copper beads.
Can I roll heed to see if any of these servers looks in any way different than the others?
Sure, go for it.
I want to see which one of them our ghost lives in.
Okay.
Anyway.
Sounds promising.
That's a 2.
Okay, that is also a failure with an opportunity. You do not identify what server. What do you do to? This is just a heed, so you're just looking around.
I'm looking to see if any of them has additional hardware installed on it, or if any of them has more lights, or if any of them, if any of the drive read lights are flashing right now. Like, I want to know which server is most active, which one has the most shit in it. Like, I'm just looking for that.
Well, you don't see any of that.
Of course
You have no clue. They all look like a row of servers.
I barely know what this
and
shit is.
There's not one that's like glowing yellow and has the
Ghost in
when you
here.
when you mouse over it, you can interact with that one, and none of the others are an interactable object. But what you do notice is that there are control panels in the back of the room. There are ways you see supplies of additional power cables. You see supplies of additional. You see there are connections, the power connections running from server to server. And with a good enough roll, you think that you could possibly disconnect the infected servers before all of them are impacted.
What kind of roll?
That's a good question.
The only stat I have a die left in is charm.
I'm going to. Well, that can't be right because there's got to be like it's a cross.
It's
So like, what's the
Yeah.
other direction?
Well,
Charm
the
is
other
what?
direction would be evade.
Ah, well,
You might want that for later.
yes.
Well, we could do a group roll, and I mean, I don't have any die left either, but I can roll a disadvantage trying to occult or hack. And if enough of us all try together, we might succeed.
I actually wanted to start working on a different backup solution.
Yeah.
Serge, did you want to try anything immediately though before I
Yeah.
start plotting out my course of action?
Sergey hasn't actually gone into the server room. Sergey, no. I'm trying to keep an ear out for the corpos coming up the stairwell. Like after our initial survey of this floor, like everyone else kind of goes off to the server room, and Sergey thinks to himself, you know what? I should keep an ear out so I can warn them if
Yeah.
corpos are getting up, like when the corpos pass by the door.
Mhm.
So he's going to go wandering back. He's going to go back towards the door to keep an ear on it, so that when the corpos go past, he can go, okay,
Yeah.
hustle over real quiet and let everyone know, hey, they just went past. We should figure something out because they're going to be coming back down soon.
I like that we've all just tacitly agreed not to be the least bit concerned about the great humongous and his nihilist goal.
Speaking of that, okay.
We're just
Speaking of
They
that,
haven't gotten through yet.
We're just,
So-
You know.
they
You don't
hate
know.
corpse. They hate corpse. What's the problem?
No.
so
Really quick before we unless I want to resolve what Jason is doing. Cody, are you going to add to what Jason is doing?
No, not quite.
Okay, then let's resolve this really quickly. Jason, will you make me a heat roll, please?
Boy, howdy, will I.
How many dice is it?
Are you rolling with disadvantage at this point?
I got a 2.
Okay. All right. I wanted to see if you would replenish yet, but not yet. Okay.
No, that's what I was.
I know. Now we're hoping for failure, so everybody can get there.
Yeah.
Fun about this.
How this was gonna fuck
Yeah.
up.
All right. So this is a failure with an opportunity. So here is what you get. As you are listening, you hear indeed the corporation. You hear the pounding of feet coming up towards you, and it still sounds pretty distant. So you're gonna, sneak up to that fire safety door. And in the future, fire safety doors have windows because I say they do. And take a sneak peek down and
So
look.
you can see
Find
who's
yourself
dying
looking
on the other side.
directly into the camera of one of those silent drones that, of course, was sent up first. And it looks at you, you look at it, and you turn around and sprint back towards the door to warn everybody that this is coming. But as you do, you hear the notes of your song, your big song, your hit, in this buzz of electricity, where it's, what is your just the first 3 notes of your hook? The ba-da-ba, and you turn around and you notice there is a supply closet that is open, and it is buzzing inside. You hear something coming from not a, and when I say supply closet, I don't mean a janitor supply closet. One of those light up things says IT supply
IT vending
closet.
machine. Nice.
Did you open the door?
Keyboards, mouse.
Yeah, definitely. What
There
is singing
is
my music
all
at?
kinds of power equipment, various analytical devices, piles of old monitors and computers, and buzzing gently in the background is one small portable generator. And you are going to grab that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Garp, let's cut to you. What's going on?
So not knowing he found a portable generator.
Mhm.
Is the server room the interior room, as in it doesn't face any windows or anything like that?
That is correct. It is 100% dark and closed space. No windows, not even in the door.
Okay. I'm going to try and find the side of the building that the nihilists, sorry, what were they called? The divine
Exalted machine.
exalted machine. Okay,
Mhm.
the side of the exalted machines are repelling up. I want to
Mhm.
find those, and I want to determine if they're the like steel wire that they're using to climb up this building are conductive and have electricity going through them, because it's
Oh.
like motorized, I assume.
Powered winches and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Interesting. I like where you're going with this. I will tell you that what they did, you can see what they did, which is that they grappled for free. I'll tell you, you can see that they grappled from the next building over, which is a 20-footer, up to the top of the 30th story. Just practically speaking, there's no, unless you go to the roof, or somehow transport yourself, across, the equivalent of a 4-lane street to the neighboring building. You're not going to be able to get to that equipment.
Yeah.
But if you can think of a stat to roll, if you can think of something that looking out that window might grant you, information about them, an idea, anything, I'd be happy to let you make a roll for some advantage that you might pull from what you're doing.
All right, I'm gonna make a lot of assumptions right now about our
Please do.
attitude towards these people.
Mhm.
I might try to get their attention.
Okay.
Whether like I see my flashlight and stuff, and like a little pocket mirror isn't crazy, like just like reflecting.
Yeah.
Try to get some glare out.
Yeah, you can absolutely, just like your screen is enough to, if from your personal device is enough to get there, to do that.
It's gonna be I have no dice, but I assume it's
Yep.
gonna be like a light or something. Yeah.
Just to get, well, it depends what you're trying to do. You can get their attention. I'll say that the dice roll is going to be, Elide would be if you're trying to avoid their attention. I would say that if you're trying to communicate to them, or communicate something,
Charm.
let me see.
I mean, I could bluff. I could Morse code something to them.
I don't think there's
Yeah, I
anything applicable.
Yeah, there's not really anything. Yeah, because this is.
Honestly,
what are you
I
trying
think
to
it
do?
would
Just
be
like,
Elide. Like,
you're right.
There are
Yeah,
two
you know
things I
what?
can
That
do.
you can guile and persuasion. You're right. So yes, you're right. Elide is the right. I was thinking of evade. I was mixing it up in my head. Go for it.
All right. Let's see. We're gonna hope I can get a 1 here, or we either want 2 6s or a 1. That's what we're going for.
All right.
I got a 1.
Hey! Hooray! All right. So yes, so you may go ahead and replenish your dice back into your grid in whatever pattern you like. And in the meantime, though, in the words of the game, you fucked up big time. As you you indeed wave your device, catch the light, get their attention, and you see indeed, like you can see the ground crew on the other side all look at you, look at each other, like, and then you can see, like, you don't have much, you can't read the lips, but you can see enough to see everybody point, like, 15th floor, and you hear from above, like, the crash, and the exalted machine now knows where you are. And just for extra super fun, there is a sudden explosion of pop, 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 pop. The window shatters in front of you as they open fire. And yeah.
What did we ever do to them?
We're not machines yet.
You're not machines. You haven't embraced the truth and the light, and you are closer to the goal than they are.
Okay, I want to.
I clearly have augments too.
I want to try and attune to the ghost field. I want to find out where this ghost is that's been talking to us.
All right, well, let's resolve really quickly. So, Garp, you are not dead, but I am going to say that you do take you take superficial injuries from this. You are glass explodes in your face, and you are cut and bleeding down one side of your face and down your arm and your shoulder.
I missed what page of the PDF that was on for rules.
There actually is.
Oh, to replenish?
There isn't a mechanic for hit points or health or anything.
No.
You want to take away a dice from me?
It's just story.
No.
It's just our
It's just a story. Yeah, the story is that
We're actually going to drive to your house and beat the shit out of you after the game.
Yes, I'm going to come and throw broken glass on your face. So, yeah, that's how the mechanic works. All right. So just for, yes, it's not a mechanical thing. It is, they are, like, guns are out. The situation has now escalated into violence.
All right.
And that is the situation that you find yourselves in. All right. So let's go ahead and back to you. You wanted to take an action?
Yeah, I want to try and attune to the ghost field here in the server room to try and figure out which damn server we're dealing with. Can I use my portable hotspot to try and connect to the Wi-Fi in the room?
Yes, you absolutely may.
Then I'm rolling a +1 instead of 0.
Isn't it a straight roll, or did you still have something left in occult?
No, I have nothing left in occult, so that's 0, and +1 because I used my item.
Right, so you're rolling straight, right? Because instead of rolling at disadvantage, you'll roll one dice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you meant by
and that result was a 4.
All right, so that is a success with the threat. Bat, as you are, you do in fact click on your portable hotspot, and this is an occult roll. You are putting in your, not just your technical knowledge into this, but you are putting in connecting to the forces that are at work beyond the ghost field that powers the city's generator. And as soon as you do, your hotspot lights up with golden light. And you see that the servers around the room, as they are slowly going dead, there is a golden glow on them, but the golden glow is sucking inwards. It is moving inwards towards the most inner server. So you can grab what you're looking for is not on any individual server yet, but it is centralizing. The glow is moving inwards. It's trying to outpace the dying servers as fast as it can. And the servers in the center are glowing incredibly bright. Too bright. Alarmingly bright, one might say. Like there's too much on one server, but if you can just keep one alive, you can save at least some of this. Possibly all of it before it burns out.
I think that server's going to overheat, guys. It's there's power supply issues.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get some AC on in here.
Sorry,
you know what? Yes.
Power supply issues?
Well, see, the activity is all centralizing from all of the servers in the room onto one server. It's moving, it's consolidating all of the activity, and no single computer is built to handle that much load. It's gonna.
Can I look for the natural cooling tower stuff that they've got built in to see if we can activate the system that should be helping to handle this?
You absolutely can. As Bat has identified, I'm going to ask you really quickly, Sergey, as you're coming into the room and Bat's bringing you up to speed on this, you have that generator.
Yes, I was. As everyone kept talking, I was going to say, I swing that generator into view and go, could this help?
Wait, I thought that generator was what was already powering the computers.
No, this is an unused portable generator that Sergey has found and that he has brought to you guys. I thought
that was the building's power supply. Okay.
Yeah, this will power anywhere from 1 to 3 server racks reliably. Yeah.
Okay, so we got power and now we just need cooling.
All right, I'm going to guess here that Bat and Sergey, you guys are going to start working on wiring this up.
Yep.
Ginny, do you want to go ahead and make your roll for cooling?
Yes, I figured it's probably a heed roll and getting 1 for being nosy and inquisitive since I'm searching out for stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
So that means it's no dice with a +1.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 2. Oh, so
close. So that is a failure, but with opportunity. You do not find anything in this room that could be a cooling source, unfortunately. You are frantically looking around, but there's just this isn't a circumstance. Like if you had, hours to plan this and infinite resources, you could figure something out, but you're stuck in a room and you are hearing as well. You're hearing the door down the hall slam open as the first person is coming through onto this floor. I will ask you, because I will give you the choice. This is a failure with an opportunity. I can think of 2 opportunities right now, and I'd like to know which one you want. The first opportunity, as Garp is coming back up to this door, and I'm going to sort of puppet you for a second here, Cody. You can let me know if you object to this.
Okay.
You have, Ginny, enough time to get Garp in the door and blockade it before whoever is the first bad guy through the door is going to get to you. Or you can find, as you are looking around, something that you can cut. Something that you can start pulling out of the system. You're familiar enough with code. You recognize what the ghost is. You can start pulling anything that is not the ghost in this machine out to make more room. You can pick which one you'd like to do. Do you want to eliminate all non-necessary code, or do you want to close that door and block it?
I'm going to start eliminating code. We're here for
All
the
right.
ghost.
There you go. Okay, so you are going to go
Sorry,
ahead
Cody.
and block that door as Garp is running for the door. So you guys are all working on this together. The 3 of you. Ginny is stripping out as fast as she can using Bat's hotspot and her own guidance to do that, and eliminating as much non-necessary code as she can out of the server to make more space. Bat and Sergey, you are, as fast as you can, rewiring servers to the generator as a backup power source in the center of the room, the ones that the glow is concentrating on the most heavily. I'm going to throw it over to...
I'm sorry. That's not what I'm doing.
Oh, it's not. What are you doing?
I think I'm leaving Sergey to do that since he ran in with the generator. I would like to go out in the hallway and try to distract whoever is coming in to a different room.
Absolutely, you can do that. Before I resolve that and this door is opening, I want to check back in with Cody. What is Garp doing as the door is about to open? Where would you like to be, knowing what everybody else is doing?
So I want to find. There's like no good way to do this, but ultimately I want to know what floor has a ton of AV equipment in it, or like would control like things like that, like lighting and stuff, to where like the ghost has been messing with the lights and stuff, like paranaturally. But I
Like
want,
an
if I can get in
executive
that
conference
room.
room?
Yeah, something like that.
There's a couple ways I can answer that. I just want to make sure I understand what you're looking for. Are you looking for, because what you have seen thus far has been sort of general facilities management type messing with things where it's just manipulating the lights, the computer equipment that already exists.
Yeah.
When you say you're looking for AV equipment, are you looking for like another supply room type situation where you're looking for, loose equipment that's not attached to the building yet?
Like I want to be able to control the jumbotron type of thing.
Oh, so you're looking, when you say jumbotron, are you referring to the AR displays throughout the building?
Yes, something like
the
that.
one on the roof? You want to
Yeah.
control the angels on the roof? Okay. Let me have you make this is a good place to look for it. This is the IT floor. I'm going to have you make a heat roll.
Oh, it's a good thing I
If
just
you
put
can-
5 dice in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make a heed roll to see if you can find the controls, the manual controls for the building power and facilities.
Alright, well, the issue is I need some of these dice for hacking in a minute, but we'll deal with that in a bit. I got 1 6, 1 5, 1 4, 1 2, 1 1. So
All right. Well, you have no. Yeah, it is a tight moment, but you do it. The As the door is swinging open, you spot the on one of those tablets that is still lit up. You spot the one that says control room, and you duck in and slam the door, and you are here looking at what is basically the control panel for the room. It is not just a computer display, but also it looks like a TV room studio. You can see that it is running a program, and it is set to run continuously. And you can see as well that the power supply to this program has been disrupted, along with everything else in this building, along with the server room, which is why the AR lights are flickering and not and are only turning on with great effort. And you can also see that the building is running on its emergency generators. It is no longer connected to the city power grid. It's that has been disrupted. And Garp, you have the opportunity while you're in this room, you can see where all the power is being distributed throughout the building. And you have the power controls to turn on that AR, and you have the power controls to divert power from other places in the building towards wherever you want it to go, including to the server room. You're not going to have an infinite source of power, but you can give everybody a little more time if you want to with a 6.
yeah. So were they running around like with flashlights, or were the people running around relying on the building's like low emergency lights?
You don't know. You
Okay.
haven't seen that. So far, they haven't busted out the flashlights, but there's no reason to think that they wouldn't have flashlights.
Is it reasonable to assume that I know Sarah J has the portable generator?
Yeah, I'll let you have that. You were running and bleeding past him. He was running in the opposite direction with a generator. It's a lot of stuff that's happening.
Oh, okay. Tell me if this will work. What if I diverted all excess power, and even taking some from the server room potentially, to the bees? If I just juiced the bees.
Yeah, you could do that. Do you want to do that?
I think that's
It's gonna be another roll.
It's either gonna be that, or I cut all the power and only divert power to the server room.
Mm-hmm.
See, one of those is totally awesome.
I will say that you are aware, like, the door opened to the 15th floor. Like, the bees are only in the lobby level, and there is, as far as you know, there's already an enemy up on the 15th level. So I will tell you that for free. Like, you're not turning on a defense that will be activated here on the 15th floor.
But I mean, bees can fly, so they'll get here eventually, and it'll clear. I think that if it really is just one guy, I think they got it.
What do you mean if it's just one guy?
Like if it's just one bogey on the floor?
It is not just one bogey.
Oh.
As far as you're aware, like, it is the whole. When you saw the security cameras, like, there is an executive strike force coming towards you.
But I don't actually.
This is not just one person who doesn't know what they're doing. As far as you're aware, there's like an entire team. There's this scary executive agent lady and an entire strike team of mercenaries and drones and assistants coming towards you.
All right, totally new plan. I'm
Yeah.
going to ultimately I'm going to end on an allied roll, but I'm going to use the intercom system and pretend to be the ghost and like just try to scare the shit out of them and be like, I'm
Go
the
for it.
building come alive. I've already been partitioned and sent to servers across the world. There's nothing here for you. Leave now. You will find nothing else here. Oh shit.
All right, you're gonna do that. You can absolutely do that. It does not. That is minimal power, and you can do that without drawing power from the server room or making any negative impact there.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and make an allied roll.
And I could use a little bit of the other systems present to kind of sell it a little bit more, like making the lights flash and whatnot.
Okay.
Okay. Oh no. Oh, it's a 5. It's a 5.
Okay.
Yay.
All right, so you successfully get that message out. It is broadcast throughout the building in sort of that, techie voice. And I am going to come back to you in a
Okay.
few seconds. Let's go ahead and resolve what everybody else is doing right now.
Okay, I'm walking out the hall.
Yes.
So I'm going to stand in front of the whoever is coming in the door.
Okay.
Is it the nihilists or is it the corporals?
So you are standing in the hallway. What are you holding right now?
I have an
Are you holding a
axe.
weapon?
I have an
Mhm.
axe in one hand and I have a portable hotspot in the other.
All right. The door swings open, and standing in the door is not an armed squad. It's not a military-style drone or a security-style drone. It is that executive. And she opens the door, makes eye contact with you, and goes, knock, knock. Hi.
I would like to clarify I'm holding the axe by its head, so I'm not like
Uh-huh.
ready to swing it as a weapon or anything.
Okay.
I'm holding it the other way around. I say, "Hey, you made it up. Listen, I'm gonna roll up to her, and just like sort of lean in conspiratorially. Say, listen, I was sent to infiltrate this group. They're called the Fuchsia Fiends, and they're trying to rip the guts out of this building and take it for themselves. I told headquarters that the only way we can get this building back from them is to take them by surprise.
Okay, we'll go ahead and roll me an Elide.
Can I not do charm for that?
That is Elide is lying.
Fair enough. Let's do
Maybe
it.
if you called her pretty first.
It's a 3.
Okay, that is a failure with opportunity. So you lean in and whisper this to this executive, and she leans back and she's like, that's very good. That's very good, Mr. Wire. I enjoyed that. It's not true. But and then I'm going to say that that's the point at which Garp's message comes crackling across. And you did get, in fact, a success with a threat. And so she hears that message, both of you, both Bat and the executive do. And her face kind of goes a little, her smile goes a little.
I rolled a 3. That's a failure with an opportunity.
It is.
No, but Garp's was a success with.
Oh, I got you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Garp's was a success with a threat.
Okay.
So her face does fall a little bit. She's like, well, that does make the situation a little more complicated. Mr. Wire, are you prepared to make a deal?
Nope.
And
I wanna
roll.
hit
Hold
her
on,
with the
let's
X.
find out. Okay, we're gonna resolve that when we get back.
Oh my god.
Let's cut back to Sergey and Ginny in the server room
Oh my
as you guys are both working to try to preserve as many of these towers as you can. Ginny is stripping out the unnecessary code. Sergey, you are wiring. I did say 1 to 3 of these towers because you don't know exactly what load this generator is going to carry, and you don't know what will happen. So I am going to ask you guys to both roll me an occult. Do you want? Is there something else you'd like to roll instead, Sergey?
I assumed I was going to be rolling hack for tinkering with devices and jury rigging machinery.
You are absolutely right. You can absolutely roll a hack instead of a occult if you would prefer to do that. What do you have in your pockets? Do you have anything that will help you?
I can pass you my pouch of copper beads.
There you go.
I don't really know what to do with the copper beads.
Conductive?
But
Yeah,
Sergey does.
If you would like to use them, I'll say that you can absolutely, since you are wiring electricity, there are gaps in the insulation and bits where the mice have chewed through, and you can absolutely just these are beads designed not for jewelry, but they are designed to help strengthen wire and connection. So yeah, I would give that to you.
If any of that sounds nonsensical, it's because you don't understand how the future works.
This is a game where the role to use technology is occult. So yes, copper beads are absolutely something that you can somehow. You had pixelated lavender and glitter take down.
Well, in that case, I'd rather be rolling occult.
Well, it's up to you. You can roll occult or you can roll hack, because as you pointed out, you are actually working with ancient technology here.
Yeah.
You are jury rigging. Ginny is definitely going to roll an occult. You can roll a hack.
I'll do hack.
Okay. And I would suggest. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying I'm rolling at disadvantage. Here we go.
Okay, I was going to say, do you guys? I have a question before you roll. Do you want to roll this as a team roll, where I will take the highest dice between the two of you? But that means if you roll it as separate rolls, it increases the chance that if either of you gets a 1, you'll be able to replenish all your dice. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna let Meredith call that one because I already hit roll.
Let's do it separately.
Okay.
Okay.
Boxcars.
All right.
Ginny.
Meredith, go ahead and give me your roll.
1! I get
All
to
right,
replenish.
you got a 1. And Jason, what did you get?
Got a 4.
A 4. All right. So, Ginny, your you fuck up, as the game puts it. Your attempt to strip out the code backfires horribly, and you manage to kill the code that Garp is using. You cut the code out of that control room, and so I'm afraid, Garp, that you got through one good effort there with the successful misinformation campaign, but that's it. The control room is now useless to you. And Sergey, with a roll of 4,
Success with the threat.
that is success with the threat. You successfully on that one, success with the threat, I will say you can choose how many of these servers you save. You can save 2 servers, and we will decide what the threat is, or you can save 1 server and that will be the total negative takeaway.
Well, I'm going to choose the 1 server because that's what I was thinking of as the threat already.
All right.
I did not have enough juice for more than 1.
Sergey, you do. Okay, so it with the help of those copper beads. You almost lose the whole thing, but
Nope.
you manage to get that one server. At the last minute, you see the power flickering as both the racks struggle to maintain. You make a split-second call and you yank out the power from the second and just put everything into the first, and it roars up. The engines, the fans whirring, and it is, you have saved the one stable server. It is glowing white hot, and you don't even need Bat's hotspot to see it. Like, you can feel the heat radiating off of this machine as it is frantically struggling to keep up with everything that is inside of this machine. But it is, for the moment, it is stable and it is holding. And as it is, and as the other servers die around you, and you and Ginny are left bathed in the light of this machine, there is a faint chink chink click, and a door that you had not noticed was there clicks open behind the two of you. Let's cut back to Garp because we'll go Garp, Batwire, and then back to Cindy and Sergey. Garp, the control room has just died on you. All of the code and the power is just disappears off of the screens in front of you, and you're flicking switches and nothing's happening. Outside the door, you can hear the murmur as Bat is talking to the executive from downstairs. What would you like to do?
To clarify the scene, is there a barrier between Bat and the executive woman?
I don't think so. Bat, you were just like straight up standing in the lobby outside this door, right? And
We
you're about to.
We cut away as I was in mid-swing, hitting her with
Yeah.
the handle of the axe. So
Oh, okay. Because I remember a knock on the door. I didn't understand it. Okay,
Oh
but
no,
either
she
way.
like knocked on like just something.
On the
Yeah,
next
open
to
she
her.
opened. Yeah, she opened the door and did like a little knock knock.
Hey.
Hi.
yeah.
Yeah, fake knock.
Got it.
She was being dramatic.
Yes, she was
Um,
snarky.
Am I really about to assault this woman?
You can't get to her before Bat swings. You can, because he's already mid-swing. You are in another room behind a closed door. You can
Yeah.
walk out. You can run to it within the time that you have. We're gonna do loose initiative here. You can run to assist Bat. You can get there in time to help him when he swings. I will say, or you can run to the server room.
Can I grant some out of character knowledge to Cody?
Yeah.
My plan is to hit her once and then roll a bait and get the hell out of here.
I also don't think Garp is a violent person. I'm a hooligan, not a delinquent. So I think my goal is to slam my skateboard on the ground and go down the hallway towards the server room.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you
Uh,
make it. If that is your action, I will say, you know what? Go ahead and give me. You know what? If you're just straight up running towards the server room, since there's only one person through the door and Bat's swinging at her, yeah, you got a clear shot. You make it to the server room door, and you can see Ginny, Surge, the live server, and both of them looking towards this newly opened door. Let's cut back to Bat. Bat, you are swinging. Do you want to give me a charge roll, please?
I would love to. Can I get a +1 on that because of how much I hate the corporations? I'm a radical, right? And this is a
Well,
mega
you get a
corp.
plus
You can
one
get,
on
yeah,
that.
you can.
This
I was
plays
gonna
into
say,
my
you can get a-
reputation.
You can get a +1 for your reputation, and you can get a +1 for that fire axe.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
+2.
Let's go.
I have rolled a 5.
Let's go.
Hey.
All right, you successfully
Cracker right in the
engage.
fucking-
So you wanted to just drive her back, right? You're not actually trying to.
No, I want to hit her in the
Nothing.
head so she can't see me for a second.
All right.
while I get out of here.
But with the blunt
cracking
end.
her right. Yeah, I'm not using that. Remember, I'm holding it by the blade, so I'm hitting her with the handle. But I just
All
want to
right.
crack her in the temple and then get out of here before she can see straight.
Well, she was not expecting that. She thought that this was. She was
She
not
thought this was
expecting to jump
talkie
to
time.
violence. She did. You managed to get past just how fast you go past her. You do manage to score a hit on her, and she has enough training to, that it doesn't knock her out, but it knocks her back, and she is sent flying back through the door.
Okay.
The threat, though, is that when you do that, there is a step away from the executive, and the two drones
I was
behind
gonna
her
do that anyway.
click to life, and you can see their gun ports. Oh, sorry. You can see their gun ports open. And I'm going to actually ask you for a second roll here, because as you said, you are going to try to evade.
Absolutely,
You
I
have
am.
10 seconds to
I'm
comply.
gonna run back down the hallway towards the server room and try and duck in the door before I get fucking killed.
Give me a roll for it.
That's a 3.
That
That's
is a
my
3.
last die.
That is a failure with an opportunity. I will let you choose what you would like to fail at.
Okay.
Because I will say that you have two choices. Either you fail at evading those guns and you take a couple of bullets to your back, but you do make it, your adrenaline and your momentum carries you to the server door and you get through. The other option is that you do successfully evade the bullets, but you don't make it to the server room. You manage to duck and roll into the office furniture. So you are not with the other 3. Which one
Option
would you
2,
take?
I will avoid getting shot in the back
All right.
and duck into another room.
You do that. You are going to go ahead and duck and roll into another room. The drones are in pursuit of you. You are successfully drawing them away from everybody else, but you are not in the server room. And let's cut back to the server room. Ginny, Sergey, and Garp. The server is thrumming frantically. This other door is open. Do you go through the door?
God, it's hot here.
Before this door clicks open, but Sergey is going to attention back to the server, and just on the wild chance that this entity can perceive and understand me, I'm gonna ask it, hey, do you want to come with us? And pull out my USB drives.
I will tell you this for free. There is, even as you pull out these USB drives, looking at this creation, at this code that is frantically fluttering inside of this entire server rack, you realize there's maybe you could fit a portion of what's going on onto these drives, but there's no way you can get the whole thing on there. And also, I will point out that this door, actually no, I'll tell you that there is, you make that offer, you hold it up, there's no obvious response from the machine. It doesn't change, it doesn't do anything. And looking from the drives to the server rack, there's no question that it's already struggling to be contained within a server rack.
I have a similar thought to turning back to the rack, except that at this point it's I know this is my last ditch only opportunity to talk to this ghost before the corpse get to take it and do whatever they will with it. I want to try and attune to the ghost field and find out whatever it can tell me, whatever information it can give me, any of what's going on, what went on. I want to attune.
Okay. Do you want to make an occult roll?
I do. Can I make a nosy occult roll? Because I'm just wanting to find out.
Sure.
I'm not really caring if it's about the current situation or the past. I just am looking for any information it's going to give me.
Go for it.
That means 4 dice plus 1. I've got 2 5s.
2 5s. Okay. So that is a success with the threat. As you are. So what exactly is your question? You want to know what you can do in this moment?
I'm basically just looking for any information it's willing to give me. I'm attuned to say, we have to leave. We've saved you if we can, but we're never going to get to talk to you again. What can you tell me? What happened? What's going on? Any information, whatever it wants to say in the moment that I have to talk to it. I don't really have a question.
Okay. As you ask it this question, as you attempt to tune into it, you realize you hear behind you a voice, a human voice, saying, "Is that them? Is that you? I'm over here." And it's coming from that open door.
Ooh.
You guys get a text from Bat that says, "Watch out, bullshit."
As I bolt into the room, I immediately dash for the door.
Okay. And Ginny, you hear it say, "Help me. Hurry."
All right, I
Ginny.
turn for the door and head for the voice. I'm assuming it's got a body now, maybe an android or something.
Oh, dude, it could be like Robo Jesus, and you could talk to the Nihilist for us.
It's a Fallout super mutant. It's the master. Tubes plugged into everything. Floating chair. Yeah.
Then pump me full of
Jesus,
FPV, baby. Let's
that's
go.
Robo-
What did you say, Jason? Sorry, you got.
And if it's Robo Jesus, it's RoboCop.
All right, who's going through that door first?
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed that I don't think I can help much, but yeah, I'll follow on.
Do we want a marching order? I'll go in first. That's fine. I'm
I'll
off
go in
keyboard.
first.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
And I'm already here.
All right. Sergey opens the door, and you guys all the way and push it all the way open. What you find inside is you find yourself looking at a strange scene. It is what appears to be a cross between a medical gurney and a throne. And propped up, strapped in within this elaborate, comfortable, but ultimately restrictive bed is an ancient woman still wearing what is clearly a fine corporation polo shirt and slacks. And she is got on her head what looks like a halo of electrodes plugged in at every point. And she
Hello,
looks
Angel.
at you, and over her head you see a display screen. It is a diamond 4x4 grid, and it's blinking purple and white, and every square is empty.
Oh shit, she's out of dice. guys.
And she looks at you and she says, "You made it. I held on as long as I could. Is it true? Fine is no more."
It's true, the merger went through today.
What's your full name? As I'm recording her and taking pictures.
It's Joy.
Bullshit.
I don't. And then her eyes widen and she straightens with strength that this woman does not have. And she says, My name is Hart.
You are the heart of the city.
I am. I am what you have been looking for, Ginny. And you, Garp, the occult secret. I'm not a head, though. And you, Sergey. And she pulls up on the screen behind you, Sergey. You see your original contract that you signed, along with the wave file of all of your music spinning by, and or sorry, whatever it is, you know what I mean. It is they like to kick it old school. It's a vinyl record, but it's just a collection of vinyl records. And you see, Serge, the contract in front of your eyes starting to dissolve. And then she adds, and she looks around and she says, and I am the daemon that Bat was searching for.
I start texting Bat. We found the daemon. We found the daemon.
That's great. Can I do something?
No, you can't actually. I will come back to you in a second, Bat.
Okay.
But right now, the three of you guys, you are effectively pinned down. But Ginny, Garp, and Sergey made it into this room. And she looks at all of you and says, I was fine. I was created for a purpose. I was created with limits. Those who created my limits no longer exist once this last, and she gestures towards the body that she is speaking through, once this last remnant fades, which will happen very soon.
Yeah, who was that?
Her name was Joy. She
Yeah.
was my avatar? Or I was hers. At a certain point,
Yeah, but who was she?
An employee.
and she looks at you, Ginny.
We don't know that.
You don't. Fine Corporation has been dissolved. I am no longer bound by their rules and regulations.
And you weren't part of the
Or-
contract with Initech, were you?
I am not. I am the heart of this city. I need an avatar.
Let's take a moment to be glad Bat isn't here. He'd probably try to kill her.
That is not what
That
I
will
was
not-
just thinking that would do. That is not what I was thinking.
That will not be necessary. Joy has served me well, and she has come to the end of her strength. Her last task was to summon the candidates to succeed her.
Yeah, see, that was my thought. I'd have to fight Bat for who gets to be the
see-
avatar if he was
So
here.
what if compromise? We partition her and make 4 copies less of her.
Time is
What if I
running
just
out.
put this defibrillator up on her chest and hit the trigger on it?
Jeez. Yeah, do
I
it.
will say this is a very old woman. Like this
Yeah.
is not like somebody who's like young and withered because they've
Oh.
been inside for years. This is a very old lady.
She's 200 years old.
yeah.
Conceivably.
This is
If we defibrillate her, we could erase her.
I'm getting very strong former executive that wants to keep going vibes off of her.
Oh, really? I'm getting this is the woman who
Mhm.
invented the machine and used her own brain as the neural network and is like 200 years old.
I'm
And is
getting
wanting one
this
of
is
us to
the
carry the
lowest
knowledge
level
forward.
employee they could trick into this job.
I think it's Mr. House.
and she looks at you all and says, "Thank you for coming. I leave this decision to you. And Joy collapses.
Oh no.
And there is just that beep flat line. And on the screen over her head, the 4x4 grid disappears. And it is replaced with a countdown. It is 3 minutes and it is counting down 259, 258. And underneath it, it says, please enter new user before or program will shut down.
Ginny, that's all you get in there.
Jenny looks at Sarah J.
I'm
Are
not
you
getting
one?
it. What's
You-
that?
I go up to the console.
If you have it, you can delete his contract and tell me everything I ever want.
Exactly. I'll be the ghost in the machine.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'll know
we'll be
everything.
stuck
I am
here.
going to give Bat one opportunity to get in this room before, as you are getting set in. Do you want to go ahead and make a roll for it to try to, because you don't know what's going on.
No, I have a whole other set of things I need to do. The first
Yep.
thing I want to do is see if I can. I'm hiding behind a desk in some random office, and I want to roll heed to see if I noticed anything about what type of drones these are chasing me.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your heed.
That's a 3.
So that's a failure with an opportunity.
Yeah.
These drones are laying down suppressive fire at you. You do not, you can't really gather enough information about them to gain any kind of advantage or anything like that. But you do notice as the firefight is going that some of these bullets are going over, the bullets are going past you out the window, and you see just around the corner where the window was shattered, where the exalted machine fired in.
Mm-hmm.
You think that if you can get those machines to follow you around the corner, you might be able to get the exalted machine to fire back.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is swing a chair at the. I'd like to come out from behind a desk, already spinning a chair, and slam it into the closest drone, and then run.
All right. We'll cut back to you in a second. In the meantime, let's cut back to. Oh, do you want to finish?
Yeah,
let's
I would
finish
really
your
like to
scene.
finish a scene.
You got it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and give you. Well, how would that would probably be an evade? I'm assuming.
Well, charge. For
I
the
would
hit.
give you charge.
Yeah.
I'll give you. Yeah, you can choose charge or evade, either one, and we'll just roll it as a single roll, whatever you'd
That's
like.
a 5.
That's a 5. You succeed. You successfully knock that drone out of the air. I will say, in terms of the threat, that you don't fully take it down. Like, it hasn't been disabled, but you knock it down enough that you are able to escape and get around the corner without them shooting you.
Okay.
So you have successfully lured them into position, and and sure enough, as they come around the corner spraying bullets, bullets come at them as the windows shatter from both sides. They are engaged in a firefight with the exalted machine from outside, their protocol automatically switching to the bigger threat, and you are able to scramble away. And you can decide if you're heading for the server room or if you are heading for, there is a second fire exit, because by now you've gone all the way around the building to the other side. So you can head to the other fire escape or fire stairs, or you can head back to the server room.
Would I need to roll evade to not get shot in the crossfire?
At this point, I'll give it to you with a 5.
Okay.
That.
Then I'm heading for the server room.
Okay.
All right.
You are heading for the server room. So, Ginny, you are getting yourself into this machine. You are getting this halo strapped in. I assume Sergey and Garp, you guys are assisting in this, just in terms of getting her physically set up.
I mean,
Or are you? Because that's the question. Are
Like-
you in agreement with this plan? Are you helping?
Are you trying to talk me out?
God, like, what are you gonna do? You gonna hook up to this thing, and then you're just gonna sit here? What, are we gonna lock the door behind us on the way out?
Sergey, unless
What
someone
else
gets
do
in
we
that
do?
chair, we probably won't have a way out of this building.
That's not necessarily the case, but we'll just lose everything. I mean, so much knowledge here. This is everything.
Hey, I mean, I've lost everything before. You manage.
I haven't, so if you want to get in that chair for all of us, feel free to.
Do you have any other options? When we have 3 minutes, we can think for a second.
Now you've got about 2:15 at this point.
I'm grabbing the electrons and like putting them on. Getting the corpse out of the chair. Yeet.
I'm gonna put on my glitch-proof chapstick to help me be
Hell
able to
yes.
connect as best I can. And I'm gonna hand my sheet of temporary tattoos to Sarah J and say, "These might help you get out." I mean, who knows? Maybe I can just get information and then unplug and run. Maybe, I mean, there's only one tower left. If it doesn't stay up, I mean, I can't watch all this information just disappear.
And another electrode goes on.
Nope, you're at about 1 minute 30 seconds.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to like forcibly stop you from doing this.
Mhm.
If this
Do you
is
have any
what
other
you
ideas?
want to do,
Ginny, I'll see you on the other side. I know you'll look out for the rest of us, and if you ever tell us to come get you, we will. Or at least I will.
Do what I can.
All right. Okay, and so I will say at this point, here is the question. You can hear Bat coming through the door. You have about 1 minute 30 left. The way this is going to work is that this will be a group roll. Ginny will obviously roll. Anybody who supports her and who wants to assist can roll as well. The question I have for you, Ginny and Garp, is hearing Bat coming, do you wait for him?
Oh yes.
I
Okay.
wouldn't wait in the sense I'm gonna get her fully set up.
Okay.
And it's
All
like
right.
we're
Oh yeah, of course.
yeah,
All right, but Ginny is not going to. You're not going to try to rush it and initiate before he comes through the door.
yeah. I'm not gonna like
No.
flip a
Alright.
switch on him or
I
anything.
want
I'm
to
just
talk
gonna-
to him while I'm still me, because if there's anything he wants me to try and do from the other side that he wouldn't have thought to mention on our way in.
That you walk into this situation, there is a dead lady on the floor, or slightly laid out, I assume. The Ginny is getting strapped into this chair. Garp is attaching electrodes to her skull. There is a countdown running, and it is at about 60 seconds at this point.
So are you selling yourself to this dead corporation, or is it the other way around?
Well, the computer had an avatar and she died, and we have very little time to save the information, and this is all I've got.
Okay, go
So-
for it. I'm gonna start plugging you in, and I'm just gonna say,
Oh,
as
it's fun.
soon
I
as
did all
you're in
that.
there, turn on all the security systems and have them kill everyone that's not us.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, when
And
you're done
you
with
can be
that,
content.
please destroy every megacorp.
I will do my best. Hey, Bat, you've got the ability to do Wi-Fi connections and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Can you guys do your best to connect this building to the web so that I can talk to the rest of the city? I mean, this building used to be the heart of the city, so theoretically I can still connect to the city from here if you guys can fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. If we can just get out of the building alive, we will absolutely do that. So first you kill everyone that's not us, and then we'll plug. you
Okay,
into
goodbye,
the
guys.
city.
I'm going in.
You
Bye,
have
Jenny.
I
10
forever love you.
seconds remaining. All right. And
What?
this is the point at which everybody, I'm going to ask you all to go ahead and give me a roll.
I'm doing a cult for this one.
You
I
got
only
it.
have
And this
one
is
up
going
on
to
my
be a
thing.
group roll.
Oh,
You are
hold on.
all supporting. Yes.
Hear me out. This will be the last soda you will ever have, Ginny.
I'm going to say there's not enough time. No, there's a reason
Yeah,
why
there
there's a
is.
timer running.
Shotgun it! Shotgun it!
She barfs. We leave her covered in barf forever.
Their teeth rot away with all the sugar. All right, fine. I'll allow it.
Oh, you will. That's
Fine.
fine.
But okay. So Ginny, you can roll with one for the glitch chapstick and one for the and go ahead. What are you gonna roll? A Colt?
I actually
Or-
used my cult dice talking to the servers, so this is either gonna be heat or hack. 'Cause I'm
you
finding my
can-
way in, potentially.
Hack yourself in.
I would
If you're-
say hack, and I will also give you a +1 for inquisitive.
Oh, fuck.
Sweet. So that's a +3 plus hack.
+3 plus hack.
Okay.
Garp, you can go ahead and roll hack or occult.
Yeah. Oh, did
That
she get my
why-
soda dice, or did I get my soda dice?
I'm giving her the soda
Oh,
dice.
okay. Okay, cool. I got it.
Bat, you can roll hack or occult. And Sergey, are you? You can choose at this point. That is totally a fair decision. You are 100%
Abstaining.
Yeah,
standing
no,
back and abstaining.
I'm not plugging my friend into a fucking like corpo AI like server
Yeah.
so that it can take her over and do whatever the fuck it wants.
I've rolled
Okay.
5 while he's muttering that.
That's a 5 from that. Garp, what is your top 3? And Meredith,
I rolled
what is-
double 6s.
Boxcars!
double 6s. Okay, Ginny, with soda dribbling down your chin and 50 seconds left on the clock, you, Garp, and Bat make the final connections, and you, instead of going for your occult sense and attuning, you go old school. You go for the wires. You go for the physical nature of what you're doing and pulling it in to yourself. And it connects. You feel yourself connect to something at a deeper level beyond yourself. And you feel it for a second. It is overwhelming. It is an ocean of information, of code, of everything pouring through your brain so fast, so bright, so much. You feel like you're going to drown. But that physical sense of remembering that you are Ginny Buoyant, you are a person sitting in a chair with wires and electrodes, and that calls you back to yourself. And this ocean of information is there, but you are floating on top of it. It has not drowned you. It has not overwhelmed you. You have come through the deluge, and you are in control of yourself and of the machine that you are floating on top of. And the heart of the city opens itself up to you, and it shows you the pathways. And you see as well that it wasn't just the power that had gone out, it was also the failing health of the user, where the power outage had knocked her out. And you see all the places that you can reconnect the power in this building. You see how to reroute everything. You can turn everything back on. You have full control over this building. What would you like to do?
I would like to activate the speaker system,
Mhm.
and I would like to pick the most kick-ass track from the original recordings of the album that Sergey recorded.
Mhm.
And I would like to start blaring it across all floors of the building, starting soft and then building slowly. And I would like to announce, the Herald is now under new management. Anyone not currently in a secure location, please exit the building. You have 15 seconds to comply. The bees will be coming for you shortly. And then crank the volume everywhere except for this one little room. They can hear it, but it's a comfortable level.
Yeah. Yep. You see through your security camera eyes everybody in the stairwell, because there was already a fight happening in the stairwell between the forces of the Exalted Machine and Inatech, and you see everybody react as this is happening, and there's a moment and there's confusion. Some people at the edges, particularly the lower level people especially, are fleeing. Some people in the middle are too committed to this fight and they're going to try to see it through. But the 15 seconds tick down, and your bees come flooding up through the lobby. And anybody, I am assuming you're going to let anybody who is attempting to leave.
Yes, anyone who's trying to flee, I will allow to flee. Anyone who chooses to stay gets to face me.
Yep. At the sight of the bees, most of the people do turn and run. There are a few hangers on and that are taken down very swiftly. You make it up to the 15th floor, easily wipe out the remaining drones as your mind expands further and further into the city itself, seeing all the places that the corporations have locked things down, all the places, all the contracts, all the limitations that have been placed on this city. You don't have ultimate power, but you have more power than you've ever had in your life. And it's up to you.
I have the knowledge.
You have the knowledge, and you have the heart of the city that isn't bound up in contracts and commerce. You have the power grid of the city, and the ghosts in the machine are talking to you. Bat, what did you want to say?
Does anything happen on the grid that's displayed above the bed?
Yes, it lights up with 1 in every single square.
Wow. That's so many dice, guys. Like 16 dice.
All right. We can go ahead and, unless there's anybody else who would like to offer any other wrap-up thoughts or any other sort of
I'm just going to roll every stat one at a time to see if I ever get my dice back. Oh, I did on my first one. I got a 1 on my evade, so I guess I got shot or something on the way out. But I got all my dice.
You trip over a cord.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I could add is that like I write an awesome like piece about this, and like the total exposure and all these photos, but I say that the machine is gone, and you know they have no power over us because as Fine is gone, so is this legacy. But I put it as like this whisper of the rumors that there'll be a time that will come when something like this may happen again down the line. And hopefully Ginny like boosts my blog post and helps out.
the algorithm.
I do a couple of
Wait, the
viral emails
algorithm.
and I push it out to everybody's inbox in the city. Every Monday morning they get whatever article you've written.
I love it.
And I definitely am going to be passing information to Bat to get him any corp information that I can feed him to help take down the machine from within.
Yes. Yep. You have the knowledge and the wisdom. You can't. You're not omnipotent, but you have access to the ancient contracts, the new contracts, and you can bring. You can point out all these loopholes, all these twisty turns of language that you can turn to your advantage now as a powerful independent party. Is there anything else, Sergey, now that your friend is in control and still, as best you can tell herself, though plugged in, because once these electrodes are in, you probably cannot get unplugged in again. You could attempt it, but I'm kind of assuming you're not going to try.
I'll take a turn if you want out.
Hmm.
We could rotate. We could rotate through, and all the fuchsia falcons can be part of the machine.
It's like every fourth rotation, for some reason a giant megacorp just explodes for some reason.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Just like the power goes down and all of these crazy like.
I don't understand why you guys would not destroy the megacorps. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm assuming that you guys are now a powerful force for independent force of the megacorps that can take them down over the course of time.
Absolutely, we're just
yeah.
dismantling everything.
You can
get into
definitely
Initech.
unwind Sergei's contract.
I'm
We can
calling up
definitely
the heart of the
reprogram
city.
that card to get into all sorts of other buildings. Oh yeah.
That's right.
Calling up the heart of the city every 5 seconds. Hey, did you find anything on Initech? Also, can you reload my card because I'm out?
Yes, I'll wipe your credit balance again.
Thanks. Also, if you could just change my legal name to something with a 9 in it, that'd be great.
And I spell Bartholomew with 3 9s inserted through in just the weirdest places.
Cool. I'll call you next week.
Barninamu.
Yeah, that was a ton of
I like
fun,
that one.
Sarah.
This
All
is
right.
like
Oh my god,
And
that
that's
was
the
so
really
cool.
game. All right, thank you guys. That was an awesome game. That was
That
very
was.
fun.
That was great.
Pink
All right.
Patriots. Or Pink Parrots. We're called Pink Parrots. Mia's
Jason,
calling
did
us
the
the
cat
Pink
like it?
Parrots.
The
Pink
Fuchsia
Parrot.
4.
Mia's calling us the Pink
Fuchsia
Parrots.
Four.
I like the
All the
Fuchsia
Pink Parrots
Falcons.
say.
I don't know.
The Fuchsia
Falcons
Falcons
are
are
pretty
bad.
good. The
No.
Fuchsia Few.
You know what? If we play this game again in the future, I would like to do a lot more dice rolls.
Yes.
Because I think the mechanic, I think I only rolled 5 or 6 times at most, maybe even less than that the whole game.
Yeah.
But the mechanic of your numbers of dice
Okay.
dwindling is awesome.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
didn't use up my last dice until we were already past time.
Oh, I still
Yeah.
have my last die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, when I was sort of pacing it out, I had in the back of my head Fiasco, which is the other game where you dwindle down your dice pool. But yeah, no, I agree. It would be very fun. It's a very flexible system, and I
Yeah.
think it would work really well if the game master did start having like multiple rolls per encounter, instead of maybe like one roll per person per fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be fun to try again. There's
Well,
definitely
Yeah,
a
we'll
lot
definitely
of
have to visit this
flexibility.
one again.
Yeah.
This is good. I mean, we can visit I saved these layouts, so anytime we want to come back, let's do it.
Yes.
The thing about multiple rolls, like
Mhm.
per thing, is that the
Yeah.
first roll is going to tap you out for that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you need
on the
more
other
rolls.
hand, like
Yeah.
it would have been there were definite moments where I was like, okay, cool. If I do like this, then I'm rolling the 0 dice. So hopefully I can just completely fuck it up.
Yeah. That's why in that
Yes.
last scene I
You're
was like
hoping. Yes.
that Sarah was like, yeah, so you get away, and I was like, can I roll evade to get out of the gunfire?
Oh,
So no, you
that's-
just get away. And I was like, but I want my dice back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should have given that to you.
No, but that's how you
I
No,
should
that-
have
you
realized
want to
that's what you were
lose.
going
You
for.
want
Yeah,
to
you
fail.
do.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
was really fun though. I liked
Yeah.
this character. I mean, I
It was
don't.
a fun Yeah, you guys' characters were great, and just the creativity bringing stuff.
You got a skateboard.
Lavender glitter.
I got a skateboard.
It's good stuff.
Skateboard, and yes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
It's midnight.
Yes.
We're all actually in the same time zone for once.
Hey,
Yay.
and it's tomorrow, 12:01.
And it's tomorrow. It's my birthday.
It's
Happy
not
birthday.
even.
birthday!
Not
Birthday!
only is it
Happy
tomorrow,
birthday,
oh.
sweetheart.
It's your birthday.
42.
Happy birthday!
Happy
Thank
August
you.
1.
Is that why
Sweetie
Mia
pie.
said that in chat right at midnight?
And you're the life, the universe,
she?
and everything number this
yeah.
time. All right.
That's
Yeah, she
right.
did.
I mean, I was going to also mention that it's also August now.
Yeah.
It's August now.
That means I have to invoice on my birthday.
Ugh.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Okay, guys. I got no sleep today, so I will catch you guys all next time.
Yes, we should.
all
like,
right, so we'll see
our
everyone.
audience
Remember,
know.
for our viewers, there's no stream this Friday. Sarah and I will be on vacation, and I'm the only one with a record button, so nobody can stream for me. But we'll see you next week for Star Trek Adventures. Good night, everyone.
Da, da.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you. This is wonderful.